Hey everyone, before I get started, let me know if you'd like me to make a video on a specific topic. I'll do my best to make it happen. Naruto Uzumaki paced anxiously outside the Hokage Tower, his heart racing with anticipation. The villagers of Konoha bustled around him, ignoring his presence as usual. But today felt different. Today, he would prove himself. Today, he would show everyone that he was not just the Nine Tails container but a powerful ninja worthy of respect. Stupid Mizuki, he muttered, clenching his fists. He couldn't believe he had been tricked into stealing the Forbidden Scroll. But as he approached the old, decrepit building, a strange feeling washed over him. Deep inside the scroll lay a secret that could change everything. He could feel it. With a swift motion, Naruto pushed open the door and entered the dimly lit room. The scroll lay before him, its ancient symbols glowing softly. Curiosity piqued. He unrolled it, his eyes widening as he read the words inscribed within. As he delved deeper into the scroll, he stumbled upon a passage that spoke of an ancient power, sunshine. The moment he read the words aloud, a radiant warmth enveloped him, igniting every cell in his body. Naruto gasped as a surge of energy coursed through him, unlike anything he had ever felt before. The air shimmered with golden light, and he could feel an incredible strength awakening within. Images flashed before his eyes. A figure of regal stature, radiant with confidence, standing tall against the darkness. "I am the Sun King," a voice echoed in his mind, deep and powerful. Naruto's heart raced as he felt the essence of Escanor flowing through him. This was it. He was no longer the underdog. He was becoming something greater. He could feel the power rising within him, a power that promised to overshadow his fears and insecurities. With newfound determination, Naruto sealed the scroll and rushed out of the tower, eager to show everyone what he had become. The sun shone brightly overhead, and as its rays touched him, he felt an overwhelming surge of strength and confidence. "Hey! Look at me!" he shouted, drawing the attention of a few nearby villagers. They turned, eyes widening in disbelief as Naruto radiated an aura of warmth and strength. "I'm not just a loser anymore. I'm going to become Hokage." His proclamation echoed through the streets, and a few villagers murmured amongst themselves, skepticism lingering in their eyes. But Naruto didn't care. He was filled with a sense of pride that fueled his every step. He sprinted through the village, eager to test his new abilities. He felt faster, stronger, unstoppable. As he reached the training grounds, he could already imagine himself taking down every opponent that crossed his path. When he arrived, he found Sasuke training. The Uchiha's intense focus was evident as he practiced his techniques. Naruto couldn't help but grin. "Hey, Sasuke," he called out, his voice booming with newfound confidence. "Check this out." Sasuke looked over, his expression a mixture of curiosity and annoyance. "What do you want, Naruto?" With a swift motion, Naruto activated his powers. The air around him shimmered, and golden light burst forth. He executed a series of rapid jutsu, each strike more powerful than the last. The ground shook beneath him as he summoned flames that danced around his form, casting a radiant glow. Sasuke's eyes widened, astonished by the display. "What the?" "Impressed," Naruto said, panting slightly but unable to suppress a triumphant grin. "I'm not the same Naruto anymore. I've got powers that'll blow your mind." "Show off," Sasuke muttered, a hint of admiration creeping into his tone. Just then, Mizuki appeared, a wicked grin on his face. "Naruto, I thought you were going to be a good little boy and stay out of trouble." Naruto turned, his expression shifting to one of defiance. "I'm not afraid of you anymore, Mizuki." With a flick of his wrist, Naruto unleashed a blast of golden energy, sending Mizuki sprawling. "I'm done being your pawn." As Mizuki scrambled to his feet, Naruto felt an exhilarating rush of power. He was no longer the underdog. He was a force to be reckoned with. "Wait until I tell the Hokage about this," Mizuki shouted, but Naruto laughed, his voice echoing with confidence. "Go ahead. I'll show everyone that I'm going to be the strongest ninja in the village." With every step, he felt the warmth of the sun and the power coursing through him. He had awakened something incredible within, a fire that would light his path toward greatness. Today marked the beginning of a new era for Naruto Uzumaki. The rise of the Sun King. Naruto's newfound confidence was a whirlwind, propelling him through the streets of Konoha like a comet. His heart raced with excitement, and the warmth of the sun felt like a guardian's embrace. He couldn't wait to show everyone, his friends, rivals, and the entire village, what he had become. As he headed to the training grounds, he noticed the villagers watching him with a mixture of awe and skepticism. Whispers floated in the air, carrying words of surprise and disbelief. He couldn't help but smile. This was the first time they were taking notice of him. When he arrived at the training grounds, he found Sakura practicing her chakra control. She was focused, her brows furrowed in concentration. Naruto approached, his steps light, and called out, "Sakura, check this out." She turned, her eyes widening as she saw the radiant energy enveloping him. "Naruto? What happened to you?" "I got stronger. Way stronger," he declared, his voice brimming with enthusiasm. Before she could respond, Naruto unleashed a wave of energy, causing the ground beneath them to rumble. The force of his attack sent leaves swirling into the air, and Sakura staggered back in surprise. "Whoa! That's amazing!" she exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with admiration. "What did you do?" "I found this scroll, and it gave me powers," he explained, his excitement palpable. "I can't wait to show Sasuke." Sakura's expression turned serious. "Are you sure you're ready to take him on?" "He's really strong." "Naruto." "Yeah? I can take him." Naruto grinned, fueled by the warmth of his new abilities. He felt invincible, and nothing could hold him back. Just then, Sasuke arrived, a skeptical look on his face. "What's all the noise about?" Naruto turned, a competitive spark igniting in his chest. "I've got new powers." "Sasuke. Let's see who's stronger." Sasuke raised an eyebrow, crossing his arms. "You think you can take me on? After all this time?" Naruto nodded vigorously. "Absolutely. Let's do it." The two took their positions, and the air crackled with anticipation. Sakura stepped back, her heart pounding as she watched her friends prepare for battle. "All right? On the count of 3, she shouted, her excitement rising. 3, 2, 1. With that, Naruto charged forward, channeling the golden energy that surged through him. He felt the power coursing through his veins, igniting his every move. Sasuke was quick, dodging Naruto's initial strike with ease. But Naruto's confidence never wavered. "I'm not done yet," Naruto yelled, launching a flurry of punches that flowed like a well-rehearsed dance. The sunlight seemed to amplify his strength, making each blow hit harder than before. Sasuke countered with his own techniques, expertly weaving through Naruto's attacks. "You've improved, but it won't be enough," he taunted, his Sharingan activated. Naruto grinned. "Just wait. I'm just getting started," as he pushed forward. He summoned flames that danced around his fists. He was no longer just Naruto, he was a warrior, and the world felt bright and full of possibilities. With a powerful swing, he unleashed a massive wave of golden fire toward Sasuke. Sasuke barely managed to dodge, the heat from the flames licking at his skin. "Impressive, but you'll need to do better," he called back, determination in his voice. Naruto pressed on, fueled by the adrenaline of battle. He dodged Sasuke's shurikens with newfound agility, moving with a grace that seemed almost unnatural. He felt alive, every muscle in his body thrumming with energy. As the fight continued, the ground beneath them cracked and shifted, the sheer force of their battle sending vibrations through the training ground. Sakura watched in awe, unable to comprehend the raw power radiating from her two friends. "This is incredible," she murmured, her heart swelling with pride for both of them. After a relentless exchange of attacks, Naruto took a step back, panting heavily but grinning from ear to ear. "I can't believe how strong I've gotten. I can feel it." Sasuke paused, a hint of respect in his eyes. "You've definitely improved. But this is just a sparring match. You'll need more than this to become Hokage." "Yeah? I'll keep getting stronger. Just watch me," Naruto declared, his determination burning brighter than ever. Suddenly, a loud commotion interrupted them. The sound of shouting echoed through the training grounds. drawing their attention. "Hey! What's going on over there?" Sakura pointed toward a group of villagers gathered around a commotion. Without hesitation, Naruto dashed toward the scene, his heart pounding with curiosity and concern. As he approached, he saw a group of children being bullied by a couple of older boys. The sight ignited something within him. "Hey! Leave them alone!" Naruto shouted, stepping forward with authority. The older boys turned, sneering at Naruto. "What are you gonna do about it, loser?" one of them taunted. Naruto's heart raced, but he refused to back down. The warmth of his newfound power filled him with courage. "I'm not afraid of you. You'll regret messing with them." With a surge of confidence, he summoned a wave of golden energy, causing the ground to tremble beneath his feet. The bullies exchanged nervous glances, their bravado faltering. "Stay back," one of them shouted, fear creeping into his voice. But Naruto stood tall, the sun illuminating his figure. "You picked the wrong fight." With that, he charged at them, unleashing a flurry of energy blasts that sent the bullies scrambling in fear. The children cheered, their faces lighting up with admiration. "Wow! Naruto is so cool!" As the bullies fled, Naruto turned to the children, beaming with pride. "You guys alright?" "Yeah. Thanks, Naruto," they exclaimed, eyes wide with admiration. Sakura and Sasuke joined him, both looking impressed. "That was pretty amazing, Naruto," Sakura said, a proud smile on her face. Sasuke nodded, albeit begrudgingly. "You're becoming more than just talk." Naruto grinned, his heart swelling with joy. For the first time, he felt like he was truly making a difference. With Escanor's power coursing through him, he was not just a loud, brash kid anymore. He was a protector, a warrior, and soon, he would be the Hokage. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over Konoha, Naruto stood tall, feeling the energy of the world around him. Today was just the beginning. With the power of the Sun King, nothing would stand in his way. With the sun setting behind the mountains, casting vibrant hues of orange and pink across the sky, Naruto's heart swelled with pride. He had stood up for those who couldn't defend themselves, and for the first time, he felt like he truly belonged in Konoha. As he turned to leave the scene of the skirmish, he noticed the children still buzzing with excitement. "Hey, Naruto!" one of the younger boys called out, his eyes shining. "Are you really going to be Hokage?" "Of course." Naruto responded with a broad grin, his confidence unwavering. "Just wait and see. I'll make this village proud." As he left the group of children behind, he felt a surge of warmth within him, the remnants of his power still tingling at his fingertips. He couldn't help but think about how much had changed in just one day. Escanor's power was more than just strength, it was a source of inspiration. As he made his way back to the village, Naruto's mind raced with possibilities. What if he could take on even greater challenges? What if he could protect not only Konoha but all the surrounding villages? With every step, he envisioned a future where he was recognized as a true hero. "Hey, Naruto! Wait up!" a voice called from behind. It was Sakura, her face flushed with excitement. "I wanted to walk with you." "Sure. What's up?" he asked, unable to contain his enthusiasm. I was thinking," she hesitated, biting her lip. "Maybe we should train together. You know, to see how far we've both come?" Naruto beamed. "Absolutely. I'd love to." As they walked together, their conversation flowed easily. Sakura shared her recent training struggles, and Naruto talked about the challenges he faced when learning to control his new powers. The bond between them deepened, and Naruto felt a sense of camaraderie that fueled his determination. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from the direction of the training grounds. Instinctively, Naruto and Sakura exchanged worried glances. What was that? Without waiting for an answer, Naruto took off in the direction of the sound, his instincts kicking in. As they approached the training grounds, they found a group of Chunin struggling to fend off a creature that seemed to materialize from the shadows. "What the heck is that?" Sakura gasped, her eyes wide with fear. "It looks like a summoned beast," Naruto exclaimed, stepping forward. The creature was large and intimidating, its dark form twisting and writhing, eyes glowing menacingly. It was unlike anything he had ever seen before. "Stay back, Naruto," a Chunin shouted, trying to contain the beast. This is too dangerous. But Naruto's heart pounded with adrenaline. He could feel the warmth of Escanor's power surging within him, urging him to act. "No way. I can handle this." Before anyone could stop him, Naruto charged at the beast, golden energy crackling around his fists. "Get ready to feel the power of the Sun King," he yelled, launching himself into the air. As he soared toward the creature, time seemed to slow. The golden light enveloping him shone brighter, illuminating the training ground. With a fierce shout, he brought his fist down, unleashing a torrent of flames that engulfed the beast. The explosion of energy sent shockwaves through the ground, and for a moment, everything fell silent. The creature writhed and roared, the force of Naruto's attack causing it to stagger back. "Did he just take that down in one hit?" a Chunin whispered, awe evident in his voice. Naruto landed gracefully, a triumphant grin plastered across his face. "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about." Sakura rushed over, her eyes sparkling with admiration. "You did it, Naruto. That was incredible." As the dust settled, the remaining Chunin slowly approached, their expressions a mix of disbelief and respect. "We underestimated you, Naruto. You've really grown," one of them said, nodding in approval. Naruto's heart swelled with pride at their acknowledgement. "Thanks. But I couldn't have done it without my new powers." The creature, weakened by his attack, began to dissipate into the air, its form vanishing as if it had never existed. Naruto turned to the group, his determination burning bright. "We have to be ready for anything. If I can take down that beast, just imagine what else we can do together." "Right," Sakura chimed in, her enthusiasm infectious. "Let's work as a team." The Chunin exchanged glances, their skepticism slowly fading away. "If you're willing to take the lead, we'll follow," one of them declared, a newfound respect evident in his tone. As night began to fall, Naruto felt a sense of camaraderie blossoming around him. They formed a circle, ready to train and strategize together. "All right, everyone, let's do this," Naruto shouted, the warmth of the setting sun illuminating their determined faces. As they began their training, Naruto felt the energy of the group surge, filling him with a sense of purpose. He was no longer just a dreamer, he was a protector, a leader. And with Escanor's power fueling him, he was unstoppable. The night sky enveloped Konoha as they trained hard, laughter and shouts filling the air. Naruto's heart brimmed with joy. He could feel the momentum building around him, and the promise of a brighter future glimmered on the horizon. As the stars began to twinkle above, Naruto knew deep down that this was only the beginning. Together, they would rise to meet any challenge that came their way. With every swing of his fist, every technique he perfected, he would prove to the world that he was destined for greatness. "Tomorrow, we'll train even harder," he declared, pumping his fist into the air, his voice ringing with excitement. The others cheered, their spirits lifted by Naruto's enthusiasm. He was ready to embrace whatever challenges lay ahead, fueled by the belief that he could protect those he loved. With the moon casting a gentle glow over Konoha, Naruto felt a sense of peace settle over him. The village was safe for now, and together, they would face whatever trials awaited them. As dawn broke over Konoha, golden rays of sunlight streamed through Naruto's window, warming his face and pulling him from his dreams. He stretched out, his body still buzzing with the energy from the previous night's training. The memories of their victory against the summoned beast filled him with excitement. He could hardly wait to see what the day would bring. "Today's the day I'll prove I'm worthy of being Hokage," he declared, determination gleaming in his eyes. He quickly got dressed, fueling himself with a hearty breakfast of instant ramen, his favorite, and headed out. The village was already bustling with activity as he stepped into the streets. The smell of freshly baked bread wafted through the air, mingling with the distant sounds of merchants setting up their stalls. Naruto felt the warmth of the sun on his back, a constant reminder of the power coursing through him. "Hey, Naruto," a voice called out. He turned to see Sakura jogging toward him, her ponytail bouncing as she moved. "You ready for another day of training?" "Absolutely," Naruto replied, his excitement infectious. We've got to push ourselves harder if we want to be the best. As they walked, Naruto felt a sense of camaraderie growing between them. It wasn't just about him anymore. It was about all of them working together to become stronger. Suddenly, a commotion erupted a few streets over. Curious, Naruto and Sakura dashed toward the noise, their hearts pounding. As they approached, they saw a crowd gathering around a group of chunin who were trying to manage a situation involving a rogue ninja. What's going on? Naruto asked. Pushing through the crowd, a chunin officer stepped forward. Looking troubled. This ninja has been causing chaos in the village. We need to subdue him before he hurts anyone. Naruto's heart raced at the sight of the rogue ninja. A tall figure with dark hair and a menacing glare. He was surrounded by a dark aura, and his presence alone sent a shiver down Naruto's spine. We can't let him hurt anyone, Sakura said, her eyes wide with concern. Right? Let's take him down together, Naruto exclaimed, feeling the warmth of Escanor's power flare up within him. The rogue ninja smirked, his confidence palpable. You think you can stop me? You're just a bunch of kids playing ninja? With a swift motion, he unleashed a wave of dark energy that surged toward the crowd. Look out! A villager cried, panic spreading through the gathered crowd. In a split second, Naruto sprang into action. Get back! He shouted, positioning himself in front of Sakura and the villagers. He channeled the radiant energy of the sun, surrounding himself with a protective barrier of golden light. The dark energy collided with his shield, creating a blinding explosion that lit up the street. Whoa! Sakura gasped, her eyes widening in disbelief. He's actually holding it back. Just a little more. Naruto grunted, straining against the force of the attack. The warmth of the sun felt invigorating, giving him strength as he pushed back with all his might. With a mighty roar, he channeled all the energy he could muster and launched it forward, dispersing the rogue ninja's dark attack in a brilliant explosion of light. The crowd gasped in awe as Naruto's golden energy illuminated the area, showcasing his newfound strength. Nice one, Naruto. Sakura cheered, her voice filled with excitement. With the rogue ninja momentarily stunned, Naruto seized the opportunity. Now's our chance. He charged forward, channeling Escanor's power into a massive punch, the air shimmering with golden energy. As his fist connected with the rogue ninja, a shockwave erupted, sending the enemy flying back. The rogue ninja hit the ground hard, stunned but still defiant. You think you're strong? You're nothing. Naruto took a step forward, fueled by confidence. I'm more than you can handle. The rogue ninja surged to his feet, determination flickering in his eyes. You won't stop me that easily. With a quick motion, he summoned a torrent of dark energy, launching it toward Naruto. In that moment, Naruto remembered the lessons he had learned during training. He focused, channeling the warmth of the sun deep within him. I won't let you hurt anyone, he shouted, and as he raised his hands, a radiant shield formed around him, absorbing the rogue's attack. The villagers watched in astonishment as Naruto's shield glowed brighter, reflecting the dark energy back at the rogue ninja. No! The rogue ninja yelled, panic seeping into his voice as the energy engulfed him, pushing him back. Naruto seized the moment, unleashing a powerful wave of sunlight that surged forward like a tidal wave. This is for everyone you've hurt, he declared, his voice booming with authority. The rogue ninja was caught off guard, unable to defend against the overwhelming power. The energy enveloped him, and he screamed as the light consumed him, forcing him to his knees. With a final blast, the rogue was sent sprawling, defeated. The crowd erupted in cheers, their voices filling the air with jubilation. Did you see that? Sakura exclaimed, her eyes wide with excitement. You did it! Naruto! You took him down! Breathless but exhilarated, Naruto grinned, soaking in the adoration of the villagers. I couldn't have done it without you guys, he shouted, turning to the crowd. Together, we can protect Konoha. The Chunin officers stepped forward, looking impressed. You've really stepped up, Naruto. You've got a bright future ahead of you. As the villagers continued to cheer, Naruto felt a surge of pride swell within him. He wasn't just a loud, brash ninja anymore. He was a protector, a hero, As the crowd began to disperse, Naruto and Sakura shared a smile. "We're really doing it, aren't we?" she said, her voice filled with warmth. "Yeah. And this is just the beginning," Naruto replied, a fire burning in his heart. With each victory, he felt closer to his dream of becoming Hokage. The warmth of the sun and the power of Escanor had awakened something deep within him, and he was ready to embrace it fully. As they walked through the village, the sun began to set once again, painting the sky with colors that mirrored Naruto's fiery spirit. He couldn't wait for the challenges that lay ahead. Each day brought him closer to his destiny, and with his friends by his side, there was nothing they couldn't overcome. The sun rose on a new day, casting a warm glow over Konoha as Naruto prepared for another training session with Sakura and their fellow ninja. He could still feel the adrenaline from the previous day's battle coursing through him, igniting his determination to grow stronger. "Today's the day I'm going to master my new techniques," he declared, stretching in his small apartment. He quickly grabbed his headband and dashed out the door, fueled by the memories of the villagers' cheers echoing in his mind. As he made his way to the training grounds, Naruto envisioned the techniques he wanted to master. Escanor's power was still new to him, and while he had tasted its potential in battle, he knew he had barely scratched the surface. He wanted to harness that power, not just for himself, but to protect everyone he cared about. When he arrived at the training grounds, he found Sakura already waiting for him, her face determined. "You're late, Naruto," she scolded, hands on her hips. "Sorry, I got a little carried away thinking about my training," he said with a sheepish grin. Sakura rolled her eyes but couldn't help but smile at his enthusiasm. "All right, then, let's get started." As they began their warm-up exercises, Naruto felt the sunlight washing over him, invigorating his spirit. He remembered the techniques he wanted to try and turned to Sakura. "What do you think about me trying to channel my power into a new attack? Something that really showcases my abilities?" "Sounds great," she replied, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "I've been working on my new technique as well. Let's see who can push themselves more today." With that, they began their training, Naruto focusing on channeling Escanor's power into his movements. He practiced various punches and kicks, trying to infuse them with the radiant energy that surged within him. Each time he struck, the air around him seemed to shimmer with golden light, a sign that he was tapping into the essence of his new abilities. "Just remember to stay grounded," Sakura called out, her voice filled with encouragement. "You have to balance your power." "I got it," Naruto replied, his focus sharpening. He recalled the way Escanor exuded confidence, never wavering in the face of danger. Inspired, he summoned the warmth of the sun and felt it flow through him. He began with a simple punch, feeling the power radiate from his fist. "Sunshine Fist," he shouted, unleashing a blast of energy that sent a shockwave through the training grounds. The ground cracked beneath him, and the force of the attack pushed Sakura back slightly. "Whoa! That was awesome," she exclaimed, eyes wide with astonishment. "Thanks, but I can do better," Naruto said, his excitement bubbling over. He focused again, determined to master a more complex technique. He envisioned a larger attack, something that would encompass his newfound strength. "All right, let's try something bigger," he called out, channeling all his energy into a gathering sphere of golden light. "This is going to be my ultimate technique." Sakura watched with a mix of awe and concern as Naruto concentrated, the air crackling around him. He could feel the warmth building, the essence of the sun pouring into him. "Here goes nothing." With a powerful yell, he thrust his hands forward, releasing a massive beam of sunlight that streaked across the sky. "Solar flare," he shouted, and the ground shook as the light surged forward, creating a blinding explosion upon impact with a distant rock formation. The force of the attack sent debris flying, and Sakura shielded her eyes, amazed by the spectacle. "Naruto, you've really outdone yourself." Breathless and exhilarated, Naruto grinned from ear to ear. "I think I'm finally getting the hang of it." Just then, a voice echoed from the tree line. "Not bad, Naruto. But can you handle the real challenge?" Both Naruto and Sakura turned to see Kakashi leaning against a tree, his eye visible above his ever-present mask. His casual demeanor contrasted sharply with the challenge he posed. "What do you mean, Kakashi-sensei?" Naruto asked, eager for a challenge. I think it's time for a little test, Kakashi said, a mischievous glint in his eye. Let's see how well you can control your power in a real combat situation. Are you up for it? Absolutely. Naruto shouted, excitement coursing through him. Kakashi stepped forward, adopting a ready stance. All right. Let's see what you've got. Naruto. Show me how you can harness Escanor's power in a fight. Naruto's heart raced. He felt ready, fueled by the confidence of his recent victory and the bond he shared with his friends. Let's do this. As the two squared off, Naruto focused on his breathing. Drawing on the warmth of the sun, he charged forward, weaving through the air, ready to unleash his techniques. Kakashi moved swiftly, evading Naruto's first few strikes with ease. You need to anticipate your opponent's movements, he advised, dodging another punch. Naruto gritted his teeth, determination burning in his chest. I won't let you get away that easily. He summoned the golden energy once more, channeling it into his fist for a powerful uppercut. But Kakashi was ready. With a swift motion, he sidestepped and countered, sending Naruto sprawling to the ground. Remember, speed and strategy are just as important as power, Kakashi said, offering Naruto a hand to help him up. Naruto took a deep breath, absorbing the advice. Got it. I'll do better this time. With renewed vigor, he charged again, focusing not only on his strength but also on his movements. This time, he danced around Kakashi, feinting to the left before striking right. Now you're thinking. Kakashi acknowledged, dodging just in time. The spar continued, each exchange intensifying. Naruto felt the thrill of battle, the rush of using his powers in real time, and the exhilaration of learning. He began to understand how to incorporate his newfound strength into his fighting style. Finally, he decided to pull out a big move. I'm going all out, he shouted, channeling Escanor's power into a concentrated beam once more. Solar flare. Kakashi raised an eyebrow, impressed. Be careful with that one. With a determined shout, Naruto unleashed the attack. The beam of golden light soared through the air, illuminating the training ground. Kakashi reacted quickly, utilizing his own technique to redirect the energy away from the training area, minimizing any damage. Good effort. But remember that not all opponents will be as forgiving, he said, a hint of pride in his voice. Breathless but ecstatic, Naruto nodded, absorbing the lesson. He had given it his all, and while he hadn't defeated Kakashi, he had shown significant growth. All right, let's take a break, Kakashi suggested, a rare smile gracing his features. You made impressive progress today. As they caught their breath, Naruto felt a wave of satisfaction wash over him. He wasn't just relying on Escanor's power, he was learning to harness it, making it part of who he was. Sakura joined them, her face flushed from excitement. You did great, Naruto. I can't wait to see what you'll do next. Thanks, Sakura, he replied, his smile widening. I couldn't have done it without you two pushing me. With the sun shining down and the laughter of friends surrounding him, Naruto felt more determined than ever. He was on the path to becoming the Hokage, and with each challenge, he was proving himself stronger than he had ever imagined. As the training session wrapped up and they headed back to the village, Naruto's heart swelled with hope. He was ready for anything that lay ahead, fueled by the strength of the sun and the bonds he was forging with his friends. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting vibrant shades of orange and pink across the sky, Naruto, Sakura, and Kakashi made their way back to Konoha. The air was thick with the promise of a new day, and Naruto couldn't shake the excitement bubbling within him. I can't believe how far I've come already, he exclaimed, his voice full of enthusiasm. With Escanor's power, I feel like I can take on anyone, Kakashi chuckled, his hands tucked casually into his pockets. Just remember, with great power comes great responsibility. It's essential to maintain control and use that strength wisely. I know. I won't let it get to my head, Naruto replied, determination shining in his eyes. I want to protect everyone in the village. That's what being Hokage is all about. Sakura nodded, her expression earnest. And he'll be right there with you, Naruto. You're not alone in this. As they neared the village, Naruto noticed a group of kids playing ninja in the courtyard, their laughter echoing through the evening air. He couldn't help but smile. They reminded him of himself, full of dreams and aspirations. "Hey, let's show them some moves," he suggested, pointing toward the group. "Are you sure that's a good idea?" Sakura asked, her brow furrowed. "What if you accidentally scare them? Come on. It'll be fun." Naruto insisted. "Besides, I want to inspire them. I'll show them what it means to be a ninja." With a grin, he bounded over to the children, Sakura and Kakashi trailing behind, curious about what he had planned. "Hey, everyone," Naruto called out, waving excitedly. The kids paused their game, eyes wide with surprise. "Who are you?" one of them asked, tilting his head in confusion. "I'm Naruto Uzumaki, future Hokage," he declared with a fierce grin. "And I'm going to show you some awesome ninja moves." The children exchanged excited glances, clearly intrigued. "Really? Can you do cool jutsu?" another child asked, eyes sparkling with wonder. "Of course," Naruto responded, confidence brimming. "Check this out." He stepped back, channeling Escanor's power once again. The golden energy surged around him, illuminating the courtyard as he prepared for a demonstration. He focused on a simple yet impressive technique, the kind that would leave an impact without causing any harm. "All right, here goes." He performed a swift series of hand seals, gathering energy in his palms. Shadow Clone Jutsu. In a flash, dozens of Naruto clones appeared around him, each one mirroring his movements. The kids gasped in awe as the clones began to perform acrobatics, flipping and spinning with unparalleled energy. "Wow," one child exclaimed, clapping his hands in excitement. "Can you teach us how to do that?" another asked, bouncing on his toes. Naruto beamed, feeling the rush of adrenaline and pride. "Of course. You just have to believe in yourselves and train hard." Sakura stepped forward, her expression softening. "And remember, it's not just about flashy moves. Being a ninja is also about teamwork and protecting your friends. Yeah, like how we work together," Naruto added, his voice passionate. "If we all support each other, we can achieve anything." Kakashi watched from the sidelines, a proud smile on his face. It was heartening to see Naruto take on a mentorship role, inspiring the next generation of ninja. As the demonstration continued, Naruto encouraged the kids to try their own clones. Laughter filled the courtyard as they attempted to mimic his movements, their giggles echoing in the warm evening air. After a while, the children began to tire, and Naruto noticed one boy sitting quietly off to the side, watching intently. He had messy hair and looked a little shy. "What about you?" Naruto called out, walking over to him. "Want to give it a try?" The boy hesitated, his gaze dropping to the ground. "I don't think I can." Naruto knelt beside him, looking him in the eye. "Of course you can. Just believe in yourself. Everyone has the potential to be great. You just need to let it shine." With encouragement in his voice, he added, "I started just like you, with nothing but a dream. But I never gave up." The boy looked up, eyes filled with uncertainty but also a flicker of hope. "Really?" "Absolutely," Naruto replied, grinning widely. "You just need to try." After a moment of silence, the boy nodded, taking a deep breath. With Naruto's encouragement, he stood up and stepped into the circle of clones, determination washing over him. "Okay, I'll try," he declared, a spark of excitement igniting in his eyes. As Naruto guided him through the hand signs, the other kids cheered him on. "You can do it," they shouted. "Now, focus all your energy," Naruto instructed. "Believe you can do it." The boy nodded, concentrating. For a moment, nothing happened, and doubt crept into his expression. But with a firm grip on his resolve, he shouted, "Shadow Clone Jutsu." To everyone's astonishment, a single clone appeared beside him, mirroring his movements. The kids erupted in cheers, and Naruto's heart swelled with pride. "See? You did it? I knew you could." The boy beamed, his face lighting up with joy. "I really did it." Naruto felt a sense of fulfillment wash over him. It wasn't just about his power. It was about lifting others and creating bonds. As the sun set, painting the sky with shades of purple and gold. Naruto knew he was on the right path. His strength would not only be for himself but for the entire village. He wanted to inspire others, just as he had inspired this young boy. As the children started to head home, grateful for the lessons they had learned, Naruto turned back to Sakura and Kakashi. A smile plastered across his face. This is what it's all about, right? Helping others grow and become stronger. Exactly, Kakashi replied, the warmth in his voice evident. You found your purpose, Naruto. And it's a beautiful one. Sakura nodded, pride shining in her eyes. You're going to make a fantastic Hokage, Naruto. Feeling more determined than ever, Naruto looked at the horizon, ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. With Escanor's power fueling his resolve and the bonds he formed with his friends, he knew he was destined for greatness. The path to becoming Hokage was filled with trials and tribulations, but he was ready to face them head-on, one step at a time. The next day dawned bright and clear, and the village of Konoha was alive with energy. Naruto woke up with an extra bounce in his step, his heart racing with anticipation for the day ahead. He had plans to train further and explore the limits of his newfound powers. After a quick breakfast, Naruto dashed out of his apartment, his mind buzzing with excitement. I can't wait to show Sakura and Kakashi what I can do today, he thought, determination fueling his every step. When he arrived at the training grounds, he found Sakura already there, stretching and preparing for their session. Hey, Naruto. You're here early, she called out, her voice bright and cheerful. Of course. I'm ready to train even harder today, he replied, brimming with enthusiasm. I want to master my solar flare and create something even more powerful. Sakura smiled, her eyes sparkling with encouragement. I can't wait to see what you come up with. I've been working on my own techniques too. We can help each other improve. With that, they began their warm-up, their friendly banter creating a relaxed atmosphere. As they trained, Naruto could feel the warmth of the sun on his back, a reminder of Escanor's power coursing through him. Okay. I'm ready to try the solar flare again, Naruto announced, positioning himself in front of a large rock formation that he had designated as his target. Remember to focus, Naruto. Channel the energy and let it flow through you, Sakura advised, her tone serious but supportive. Naruto nodded, taking a deep breath to center himself. He raised his hands, feeling the golden energy gather in his palms. Here goes. Solar flare. As he unleashed the attack, a brilliant beam of light shot forth, striking the rock formation with incredible force. The explosion sent dust and debris flying, and Naruto couldn't help but feel a rush of exhilaration as he watched the impact. Nice job. Sakura cheered, clapping her hands together. That was even stronger than yesterday. Thanks. I think I'm finally getting the hang of it, he replied, a wide grin spreading across his face. But I want to try something more. Let's see if I can combine it with my shadow clone jutsu. Sakura raised an eyebrow. Intrigued. That sounds ambitious. Are you sure you can handle it? Of course. I can do this, Naruto exclaimed, determination shining in his eyes. I'll create clones to help amplify the attack. With renewed focus, he quickly performed the hand signs, summoning a dozen clones around him. All right. Everyone, we're going to combine our powers. The clones nodded, mirroring his excitement. Let's do this, they shouted in unison. Now, channel your energy into the solar flare, Naruto instructed, guiding his clones through the motions. They raised their hands in unison, gathering golden light. As they focused, the air crackled with energy, and Naruto could feel the surge building within him. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Together, they unleashed the attack, a massive wave of golden light erupting from the ground. The combined energy shot into the sky, illuminating the entire training ground. Sakura shielded her eyes from the brilliance, awe flooding her senses. This is incredible. Naruto. You're really pushing your limits. The beam of light soared high before colliding with the distant mountains, creating a dazzling explosion that echoed across the valley. The ground trembled beneath their feet, and a cloud of dust rose into the air. As the dust began to settle, Naruto and his clones looked at each other, exhilarated by their accomplishment. We did it! That was awesome. Naruto cheered, laughing with pure joy. But suddenly, a voice rang out from behind them. Not bad. But can you do it under pressure? Turning around, Naruto saw Kakashi approaching with a smirk on his face. I think it's time to up the stakes a little. What do you mean? Naruto asked, his excitement quickly shifting to curiosity. Kakashi crossed his arms, his eye gleaming with mischief. Let's have a sparring match. I want to see how well you can maintain control of your power in a real combat scenario. Naruto's heart raced at the prospect. You mean, you want to fight me? Exactly. And don't hold back, Kakashi replied, his expression serious. You need to learn how to fight while using your power. Are you ready? I was born ready, Naruto exclaimed, adrenaline surging through him. As they stepped into the makeshift arena, Naruto felt the weight of anticipation settle over him. He focused, channeling Escanor's energy within him, preparing for the challenge ahead. Remember, I won't go easy on you, Kakashi said, adopting a relaxed stance. Use everything you've learned. With that, the match began. Naruto charged forward, the ground beneath him cracking as he moved with newfound speed and confidence. He launched a powerful punch, aiming for Kakashi's midsection, but Kakashi sidestepped effortlessly, his expression calm. Good effort. But you need to anticipate my movements, he called out, dodging Naruto's follow-up kick. Naruto gritted his teeth, focusing on Kakashi's movements as he danced around him. He tried to read his opponent, letting the adrenaline and excitement fuel him. I won't give up that easily. With determination, he summoned a shadow clone to create a distraction. As Kakashi turned to counter the clone, Naruto unleashed a solar flare aimed at Kakashi's exposed side. Nice try. Kakashi dodged, but not without being grazed by the edge of the attack. He stumbled slightly, momentarily taken aback. Huh? I got you, Naruto shouted, feeling a rush of victory. But Kakashi quickly recovered, a glimmer of pride in his eye. You're getting better. But don't forget to adapt. Naruto nodded, his mind racing. He needed to think strategically. Okay, I'll show you what I can do. He summoned more clones, their presence amplifying his confidence. Together, they charged at Kakashi, creating chaos. Naruto focused, channeling energy into another solar flare, ready to unleash it when the moment was right. As the clones surrounded Kakashi, he began to weave through their ranks, evading strikes and countering expertly. But Naruto was determined. Now, solar flare. He released the attack, and the ground erupted with golden light. The force of the blast lit up the training grounds, pushing back the clones and forcing Kakashi to evade with agility. Kakashi's expression turned serious as he narrowly avoided the brunt of the attack. Impressive. But it's time for a counter. He unleashed his own technique, moving with precision. Lightning blade. In an instant, he closed the distance, targeting Naruto. The energy crackled in the air, and Naruto's heart raced as he narrowly dodged the strike, feeling the rush of wind as it sliced past him. Whoa! That was close. He gasped, adrenaline pumping through his veins. Kakashi smirked, clearly enjoying the challenge. You've improved, but you need to stay one step ahead. Think about your next move. With each exchange, Naruto felt himself growing stronger, learning to adapt his strategies on the fly. He understood now that his power was a tool to help him evolve, not just a weapon to wield blindly. The spar continued, each moment filled with excitement and challenge. Naruto felt exhilarated, his mind focused, channeling Escanor's strength into every punch, kick, and jutsu. As they fought, Kakashi began to push him further, testing his limits. All right, let's see how you handle this. Kakashi moved swiftly, combining his techniques to create a flurry of attacks that Naruto struggled to counter. Each move was calculated, and Naruto felt the pressure building, but he refused to back down. I can do this, he shouted, channeling energy into his fist. Solar flare. But this time, he combined it with a series of rapid punches, trying to overwhelm Kakashi. Kakashi danced away, evading the attacks. Good. Now keep up that intensity. The two continued to spar, and with each passing moment, Naruto grew more confident. He embraced the thrill of battle, reveling in the heat of competition and the joy of pushing his limits. Finally, as the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the training grounds, Kakashi stepped back, raising his hand. "All right. Time's up." Panting and breathless, Naruto looked up, his heart racing with exhilaration. "That was amazing." Kakashi nodded, a proud smile crossing his face. "You did well, Naruto. You've learned to harness your power, and your growth is impressive." Sakura clapped her hands together, beaming. "You were incredible. I can't wait to see what you'll do next." "Thanks. You guys. This is just the beginning," Naruto replied, his spirit soaring. As they walked back to the village, the sun dipping lower in the sky, Naruto felt a sense of accomplishment. He was on the path to becoming stronger, not just for himself, but for everyone he cared about. With Escanor's power coursing through him and the support of his friends, he knew he was ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, they would face anything that came their way, united as a team. And as Naruto gazed at the setting sun, he felt the warmth of determination in his heart. He would protect Konoha, and one day, he would become the Hokage, the strongest ninja the village had ever seen. The following day dawned with a gentle mist rolling over the village, wrapping Konoha in a blanket of tranquility. Naruto awoke with a sense of purpose, eager to continue his training and refine his techniques. He had experienced tremendous growth, but he knew there was still much to learn. After a quick breakfast, Naruto made his way to the training grounds, determined to find a way to harness Escanor's power even more effectively. As he approached, he spotted Sakura already practicing her own jutsu, her focus intense. "Hey, Sakura," he called out, a wide grin on his face. "Are you ready for another day of training?" "Of course," she replied, her expression brightening. "I've been working on a new technique. I can't wait to show you." "Awesome. But first, I want to see if I can combine my solar flare with another jutsu. I'm thinking about adding some speed to it," Naruto said, his excitement palpable. Sakura's eyes lit up with curiosity. "That sounds interesting. How are you planning to do that?" "I'm going to try using the body flicker technique to get close to the target, and then I'll unleash the solar flare right in their face," he explained, his enthusiasm infectious. "Let's give it a shot," Sakura encouraged. With their minds set on the challenge ahead, Naruto focused on gathering his chakra. "All right. Here goes nothing." He concentrated, channeling energy into his feet. Suddenly, he vanished from sight, reappearing a few meters away in a flash. He felt the exhilaration of speed as he prepared for the next part of his plan. "Now, solar flare," he shouted, raising his hands high. A brilliant beam of golden light erupted from his palms, aimed directly at a distant rock formation. The impact sent debris flying as the explosion lit up the area. But Naruto didn't stop there. He felt the energy surge through him, and he was determined to harness it. "Whoa! That was amazing!" Sakura exclaimed, her eyes wide with admiration. "You really nailed the timing." "Thanks. But I think I can do even better," Naruto replied, feeling the thrill of competition bubbling within him. "Let's practice some more." As they continued training, the sun climbed higher in the sky, casting a warm glow over the training grounds. Naruto and Sakura took turns attempting various techniques, each encouraging the other and celebrating their successes. After several hours, they took a break, sitting on a nearby log to catch their breath. "I feel like I'm finally making progress," Naruto said, wiping the sweat from his brow. "I can really feel the power of Escanor inside me." "It's incredible," Sakura nodded, her expression earnest. "You've come so far, Naruto. It's inspiring to see how you've grown. But remember, it's not just about power. You have to think strategically in battle." "Yeah, I know," Naruto replied, his enthusiasm unwavering. "But with this strength, I can protect everyone. I can't wait to show the village what I can do." Suddenly, a familiar voice interrupted their conversation. Well, if it isn't my favorite duo." Both Naruto and Sakura turned to see Kakashi approaching, his signature book in hand. "Hey, Kakashi," Naruto called out, his energy renewed at the sight of his mentor. "Did you see my training? I'm getting stronger." Kakashi nodded, a hint of a smile playing on his lips. I did. Your progress is impressive, Naruto. But remember, strength alone isn't enough. You'll need to be aware of your surroundings and your opponent's strengths and weaknesses. Right. Naruto agreed, his mind racing with thoughts of future battles. What's next for us? Kakashi glanced at them thoughtfully. How about we work on teamwork drills? It's crucial that you two learn to work together seamlessly in battle. Sounds great, Sakura said, eager to improve her skills alongside Naruto. All right then, Kakashi said, turning to face them. Let's set up a scenario. I'll play the role of the enemy, and you two will have to work together to defeat me. Are you ready? Absolutely, Naruto exclaimed, his spirit soaring. Kakashi smiled, then shifted into a combat stance. Let's begin. The training ground transformed into a battlefield as Naruto and Sakura quickly strategized. Okay. We need to distract him while I get close, Naruto suggested, determination in his voice. Agreed. I'll use my strength to hold him off while you find an opening, Sakura replied, her expression focused. With their plan set, Naruto charged forward, unleashing a barrage of attacks to draw Kakashi's attention. Come on, Kakashi. Let's see what you've got. Kakashi smirked, dodging Naruto's strikes with ease. But his focus was split. As he engaged with Naruto, Sakura took advantage of the opening, launching her own attack. Cherry Blossom Impact, she shouted, slamming her fist into the ground and sending shockwaves toward Kakashi. Kakashi swiftly evaded, but the distraction allowed Naruto to close the distance. Now's my chance, he yelled, channeling energy into a solar flare as he prepared to strike. Just as he unleashed the attack, Kakashi sidestepped, narrowly avoiding the blast. Nice try, but you'll need to be faster, he called out, a hint of admiration in his voice. Naruto felt a surge of adrenaline. I won't give up that easily. He summoned a group of shadow clones, their presence amplifying his strength as they surrounded Kakashi. Let's overwhelm him, he shouted, launching a coordinated attack from all sides. As the clones and Sakura worked together to keep Kakashi occupied, Naruto focused, channeling more energy into his next solar flare. This time, I'll make sure it connects. With determination, he aimed the attack at Kakashi, who was momentarily distracted. The golden light burst forth, illuminating the training ground once more as it surged toward him. But Kakashi was quick. With a flicker of movement, he dodged again, seamlessly slipping out of harm's way. Great teamwork. But you need to anticipate my moves better, Kakashi advised, a glint of pride in his eye. Naruto and Sakura exchanged determined glances. They weren't going to give up. They would refine their strategy until they succeeded. Let's change things up, Sakura suggested, her mind racing with ideas. What if I create a diversion while you prepare your solar flare? Good plan. I can channel the energy while Kakashi is focused on you, Naruto replied, excited by the prospect. With renewed resolve, Sakura charged at Kakashi, launching a series of swift attacks. Keep your guard up, she shouted, keeping his attention fixed on her. As Kakashi countered Sakura's moves, Naruto felt the energy building within him, ready to unleash his ultimate attack. Now, he called out, channeling all of Escanor's power into his hands. With the sunlight bathing the training ground in warmth, Naruto shouted, Solar Flare. The radiant beam shot forth, a brilliant display of power aimed directly at Kakashi. Kakashi's eyes widened as he realized the attack was coming. He swiftly performed a series of hand signs, preparing to counter. Water style. Water wall. Just as the beam connected with Kakashi's jutsu, the two forces collided, sending shockwaves through the air. The impact created a blinding explosion, and the training ground was enveloped in golden light. When the dust settled, Kakashi stood firm, a slight smile on his face as he brushed himself off. Impressive. You two worked well together this time, he commended, his voice warm. Naruto grinned widely, filled with exhilaration. Did you see that? We actually did it. Sakura nodded, her heart racing with excitement. We've really improved. I can't believe how well we worked together. Kakashi chuckled, pride evident in his tone. With that kind of teamwork, you'll be ready for anything. Just remember, the key to victory is adapting and supporting each other in battle. Feeling empowered by their success, Naruto glanced at Sakura, his determination shining in his eyes. Let's keep training and get even stronger. I want to be the best Hokage ever. With the sun setting on the horizon, the trio continued their training, laughter and determination echoing through the training grounds. United in their goals, they embraced the challenge of becoming stronger together. The following days passed in a whirlwind of training, laughter, and camaraderie. Naruto, Sakura, and Kakashi pushed themselves to new heights, each session filled with challenges that honed their skills and strengthened their bond as a team. The energy in the training grounds was electric, fueled by Naruto's determination to become stronger and the unwavering support of his friends. One bright morning, as they gathered for another training session, Naruto noticed a peculiar energy in the air. He could feel the warmth of the sun kissing his skin, almost as if Escanor himself was encouraging him to push his limits even further. "Hey, guys," Naruto called out, excitement bubbling within him. "I've been thinking about how to harness the solar flare even more. What if I can charge it with more chakra to make it even stronger?" Sakura raised an eyebrow. Intrigued. "That sounds promising. But you need to be careful. Overdoing it could drain your chakra too quickly. Especially if you're not used to it." "Don't worry. I've got this," Naruto replied confidently, waving off her concerns. "I can handle it. I want to show everyone that I'm serious about becoming Hokage." Kakashi, leaning against a tree, watched them with an approving smile. "All right. Let's see what you can do." Naruto, just remember to stay aware of your surroundings and keep your focus. With determination in his eyes, Naruto stepped into the center of the training ground. He focused on gathering his chakra, channeling the warmth of the sun into his palms. As the golden energy began to swirl around him, he felt Escanor's power coursing through his veins, urging him onward. "Solar flare," he shouted, releasing the technique. This time, he concentrated on infusing it with more chakra than ever before. The light erupted with an intensity that took everyone by surprise, illuminating the area in a brilliant display of power. As the beam shot toward the sky, Naruto could feel the sheer force of the attack vibrating through the ground beneath his feet. But as the energy surged, he sensed a strange pressure building within him. "Whoa! This feels intense," he thought, a mixture of excitement and caution flooding his senses. Sakura and Kakashi watched in awe as the solar flare expanded, creating a dazzling spectacle that lit up the sky. "Naruto, this is amazing," Sakura shouted, her eyes wide with admiration. But suddenly, the energy surged even further, threatening to spiral out of control. Naruto felt the pressure growing, and a moment of panic hit him. "I need to rein it in." In a split-second decision, he pulled back the energy, but the sheer force of the solar flare had already reached its peak. The ground shook beneath them as the beam exploded, sending shockwaves rippling through the training ground. "Watch out!" Kakashi yelled, quickly leaping to shield Sakura. The explosion created a blinding flash of light, followed by a deafening roar. As the dust settled, Naruto stood amidst the wreckage, panting heavily, his heart racing from the adrenaline. "Did I do that?" he asked, slightly dazed but filled with exhilaration. Sakura emerged from behind Kakashi, eyes sparkling with excitement. "That was incredible. But maybe we should focus on controlling the power next time," she suggested, her tone slightly worried. Kakashi straightened up, brushing dirt off his shoulders. "You definitely have potential, Naruto. But you need to learn to harness that power without losing control. It's a balancing act." I know. I'll practice more," Naruto replied, determination glimmering in his eyes. "I want to be strong enough to protect everyone." With the training session wrapping up, Kakashi decided it was time to shift their focus. "Now that you've shown us your progress, it's time to work on your strategic thinking. Let's set up a scenario where you have to defend against an attack." Naruto and Sakura exchanged excited glances. "Ready for the challenge? Sounds like fun," Naruto exclaimed. Kakashi explained the plan. "You'll be guarding a hypothetical target, an important object, for instance, while I'll come at you as the enemy. Your goal is to work together to protect it and overcome my attacks. Got it? Naruto said, his energy renewed. Let's do this. They set up a makeshift target in the center of the training ground. A wooden crate that symbolized the precious object they were protecting. Naruto and Sakura took their positions, their hearts pounding with anticipation. Ready? Kakashi called out. Preparing to strike. Ready. They replied in unison, determination flooding their voices. Kakashi lunged forward, testing their defenses with a flurry of quick strikes. Naruto and Sakura instinctively moved into action, coordinating their efforts to protect the crate. Cover me. Naruto shouted as he launched forward to engage Kakashi. Got it? I'll keep him distracted. Sakura replied, channeling her chakra for a quick counter. As Naruto squared off against Kakashi, he focused on channeling Escanor's energy. Solar flare, he yelled, aiming the technique at Kakashi to create a diversion. The golden light burst forth, forcing Kakashi to dodge, and for a brief moment, Naruto saw an opening. Now, Sakura, he shouted. Sakura launched herself at Kakashi, using her strength to land a series of quick punches while Naruto continued to unleash his solar flare attacks, trying to overwhelm their sensei. Kakashi evaded their attacks with agility, impressed by their teamwork. Nice moves. But don't forget to adapt to my counters, he called out, quickly shifting his approach. Naruto gritted his teeth, determination coursing through him. We can't let him get past us. With a sudden surge of energy, he summoned a group of shadow clones, flooding the area. Everyone, charge, he commanded, and the clones rushed at Kakashi in a chaotic frenzy. Sakura joined in, adding her strength to the mix. Together, we can do this. Kakashi grinned, impressed by their spirit. All right, let's see how you handle this. He unleashed a barrage of shuriken, scattering them among Naruto's clones. The clones burst into clouds of smoke as they were struck. But Naruto didn't let that deter him. Keep going. We can't let him break our defense. With renewed resolve, they focused on their target, channeling their energy together to create a synchronized attack. Solar flare. They shouted in unison, combining their powers. The explosion of light erupted, illuminating the area as they aimed it directly at Kakashi. Nice technique. But you'll need to be faster. Kakashi countered, dodging the attack and closing the distance. In that moment of distraction, Naruto saw an opening. Sakura, now, he shouted, launching himself forward to support her. As they worked in tandem, they finally managed to land a blow on Kakashi, pushing him back just enough to protect the crate. Great job. Sakura exclaimed, her eyes shining with pride. Yeah, we actually did it. Naruto cheered, feeling the thrill of victory. Kakashi straightened up, clearly impressed. Well done. You too. That was a solid effort. But remember, this was just practice. In real situations, you'll face even greater challenges. But we're getting better, right? Naruto asked, his confidence soaring. Absolutely, Kakashi replied, a proud smile on his face. Keep honing your skills, and you'll become a formidable team. As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden glow over the training grounds, Naruto felt a sense of accomplishment wash over him. He had pushed his limits and learned the importance of teamwork, all while harnessing the power of Escanor within him. I can't wait for our next training session, he exclaimed, his heart filled with determination. Neither can I. Let's keep getting stronger. Sakura agreed, her enthusiasm infectious. With a shared sense of purpose, the trio left the training grounds, united in their goals and ready to face whatever challenges awaited them. The days rolled into weeks, and Naruto's training intensified. With each session, he felt the power of Escanor growing within him, melding seamlessly with his own unique abilities. The bond he shared with Sakura and Kakashi deepened, forming a team that was not only formidable but also supportive. One bright morning, as the sun bathed Konoha in its warm glow, Naruto stood at the edge of the training ground, stretching his limbs and taking in the fresh air. Today felt different. There was an electric anticipation in the air, as if something significant was about to unfold. Ready for another round? Sakura called, approaching him with a bright smile. Absolutely. I'm pumped. Naruto replied, bouncing on his heels. I've been thinking about trying something new with the solar flare. What if I combine it with a shadow clone technique to create a massive attack? Sakura's eyes sparkled with excitement. That sounds incredible. But you'll need to focus on your chakra control to make it work effectively. Leave it to me. I'm ready, he declared, determination etched on his face. Just then, Kakashi arrived, his usual calm demeanor in place. Good morning. You too. I see you're eager to train today. What's the plan? Naruto wants to try combining the solar flare with a shadow clone technique. Sakura explained enthusiastically. Kakashi raised an eyebrow. Intrigued. That could be an interesting combination. Just remember to manage your chakra wisely. You don't want to overextend yourself. Naruto nodded vigorously. I got it. Let's get started. They positioned themselves in the center of the training ground, and Naruto closed his eyes, focusing on gathering his chakra. He envisioned the warm golden energy of the sun intertwining with the power of Escanor, fueling his determination. Shadow clone jutsu. He shouted, creating dozens of clones that surrounded him. Now, let's combine this with the solar flare, he exclaimed, excitement bubbling in his chest. He began to gather energy into his palms, feeling the heat radiating from the sun above. Sakura watched intently, ready to support him. You can do this, Naruto. With a loud shout, Naruto instructed the clones. All right. Everyone, channel your chakra into the solar flare. We're going to make this huge. The clones nodded, their hands moving in unison as they formed the jutsu. The golden energy began to swirl around them, growing larger and brighter with every passing second. Solar flare. Naruto yelled, thrusting his hands forward as the energy exploded outward. The brilliance enveloped the training ground, casting shadows as the clones released the powerful attack in a massive wave. The sheer force of the combined solar flare surged forward, a radiant display of power and light that illuminated the area. Kakashi and Sakura shielded their eyes, momentarily blinded by the brilliance. As the energy finally dissipated, the ground trembled from the impact. Dust swirled in the air, and when it cleared, the training ground was marked by the immense force of the attack. Scorched earth left in its wake. Whoa! Sakura gasped, eyes wide as she surveyed the destruction. That was incredible. Kakashi, equally impressed, nodded. You did well, Naruto. That was a remarkable display of teamwork and power. Panting from the exertion, Naruto grinned, his heart racing with excitement. Did you see that? We really pulled it off. But then, a shadow loomed over them, and a familiar voice broke the moment. What a show you put on, Naruto. Impressive, as always. They turned to see Sasuke standing at the edge of the training ground, arms crossed and an unreadable expression on his face. Sasuke. Naruto shouted, instantly brightening at the sight of his rival and friend. Did you see my technique? It was amazing. I saw it, Sasuke replied, his voice calm. You're getting stronger. But you still have a long way to go. Of course. Naruto shot back, undeterred. But just wait until I perfect my techniques. I'll be stronger than anyone. Even you. Sasuke smirked, a hint of competitiveness sparking in his eyes. I look forward to it. But don't think I'll go easy on you just because you've got a new trick up your sleeve. Bring it on. Naruto exclaimed, feeling the thrill of rivalry course through him. Let's have a training match. Right now? Sakura interjected, glancing between them. Shouldn't we focus on our training as a team? Naruto waved her concern away. This is part of training. I want to see how far I've come. Kakashi watched with amusement, recognizing the competitive spirit that had always fueled Naruto and Sasuke's relationship. All right. If you both want to spar, make sure to keep it controlled. No excessive damage. All right? Got it. Naruto replied, his focus sharpening. Sasuke stepped forward, his expression serious. Let's see what you've got, Naruto. They squared off, a charged silence settling over the training ground as they readied themselves. Sakura stood to the side, her heart racing in anticipation of the battle that was about to unfold. Begin. Kakashi called out. And just like that, the tension snapped. Naruto charged forward, the ground shaking beneath his feet. Solar flare! He shouted, unleashing a burst of energy aimed at Sasuke. Sasuke swiftly dodged. His Sharingan activated. You'll need to be faster than that, he retorted, countering with a volley of shuriken aimed at Naruto. Naruto weaved to the side, evading the projectiles. You think that's all I've got? He summoned several shadow clones, their numbers multiplying as they surrounded Sasuke. Nice move, but predictable, Sasuke remarked, his eyes scanning for openings. As the clones lunged at him, Sasuke activated his Chidori, the blue lightning crackling in his hand. Chidori! He shouted, darting through the clones and striking them down one by one. Naruto grinned, feeling the rush of adrenaline. Not bad. But let's see how you handle this. He channeled chakra into his fists, preparing for a close-quarters assault. He dashed at Sasuke, throwing a flurry of punches, each one filled with newfound strength. Sasuke blocked and countered with swift kicks. The two of them locked in a dance of skill and power. Sakura watched intently, her heart pounding. They're both incredible. I can't believe how strong they've become. As the fight intensified, Naruto felt the warmth of the sun fueling his determination. He tapped into Escanor's power, letting it wash over him as he focused. I can't hold back now. He channeled a powerful solar flare once more, focusing it into a concentrated blast. Solar flare! He yelled, releasing the energy with a force that sent shockwaves through the training ground. Sasuke narrowed his eyes, realizing the threat. I won't let you hit me. He swiftly evaded the attack, using his speed to maneuver around the explosion. The ground trembled as the blast hit, scattering dust and debris everywhere. Naruto, breathing heavily, focused on his next move, knowing that Sasuke would soon counterattack. Now's my chance, Sasuke thought, charging forward with lightning speed. He unleashed a powerful kick aimed directly at Naruto. But Naruto was ready. He sidestepped just in time, redirecting Sasuke's momentum. Gotcha! He exclaimed, launching a counterattack with a powerful punch. The impact echoed as their fists collided, a clash of strength that resonated through the air. Sasuke gritted his teeth, using his agility to roll away and regain his footing. You've improved, but you're still not fast enough, he taunted, preparing for another round. Naruto, feeling invigorated, grinned back. I'll show you just how fast I can be. They resumed their fierce sparring, pushing each other to their limits, each moment filled with competitive spirit and camaraderie. As they fought, the sun continued to rise higher, casting a warm glow over the training ground. The sound of their movements echoed like a symphony of strength and determination, each attack and defense a testament to their growth. Finally, they paused, panting and exhausted but filled with a sense of accomplishment. That was intense, Naruto exclaimed, wiping the sweat from his brow. Sasuke nodded, still catching his breath. You've definitely gotten stronger, Naruto. Keep this up, and you might actually stand a chance. Don't worry, I'll keep training until I surpass you, Naruto declared confidently. Kakashi approached, a proud smile on his face. Well done, both of you. You've shown great progress, and your teamwork is improving as well. Just remember, the real test is how well you can apply what you've learned in actual battles. Sakura beamed with pride at her teammates. You both did amazing. I can't wait to see how you'll grow even more. As they wrapped up their training, a sense of unity enveloped them. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura stood together, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With the power of Escanor guiding Naruto and the bond they shared, they felt unstoppable. Let's keep pushing ourselves, Naruto declared, determination shining in his eyes. Yeah. Sasuke and Sakura replied in unison, their spirits renewed. With that shared resolve, they left the training ground, knowing that the road ahead would be filled with obstacles, but they were ready to face them together, stronger than ever before. As the days passed, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura continued their rigorous training, each day pushing the boundaries of their abilities further. The sun rose higher in the sky, and the trio became a familiar sight in the training grounds, where their laughter and spirited competition echoed through Konoha. One evening, while taking a break from their training, The three of them sat together, discussing their recent progress. "Hey, what do you think our next step should be?" Naruto asked, his eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "We've been working on techniques, but I think we should start focusing on teamwork strategies." Sakura nodded thoughtfully. "That makes sense. We should think about how we can combine our strengths in battle, especially when we face tougher opponents." Sasuke leaned back against a tree, his arms crossed. "It's not just about strength. We also need to be adaptable in different situations. Being predictable can get us into trouble." Naruto grinned, filled with excitement. "Then let's practice some combos. I can use my solar flare to distract the enemy, and you two can come in for the finish." "Sounds good. But we should also work on countering various jutsu. If we want to be prepared for anything, we need to know how to handle all types of situations," Sakura suggested. "Right? Let's do it," Naruto exclaimed, his energy infectious. With renewed focus, they moved back to the training area, ready to implement their strategy. "All right. Let's set up some scenarios," Kakashi said as he approached, having overheard their conversation. "I'll create some challenges for you that will force you to adapt and think on your feet." "Great. I'm ready," Naruto shouted, already bouncing on his feet in excitement. Kakashi smiled, pleased with their enthusiasm. "Let's start with a basic attack scenario. I'll come at you with different jutsu, and you need to figure out how to counter them. Work together and remember your training." Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke exchanged determined glances. "We've got this," they declared in unison. Kakashi stepped back, preparing for their first challenge. "All right. Here I come." He launched a series of kunai toward them, and Naruto quickly reacted. "Sakura, block the left side. Sasuke, take the right." The two sprang into action, Sakura intercepting the kunai with her own while Sasuke deflected the others with his speed. Naruto kept his focus on Kakashi, determined to support his teammates. "Now, solar flare," Naruto shouted, gathering energy in his hands and releasing it toward Kakashi. The bright light filled the area, temporarily blinding their teacher. "Good move," Kakashi commented, dodging to the side as he regained his vision. "But don't get too comfortable. Here's the next challenge." He unleashed a fireball jutsu, sending a wave of flames toward them. Naruto's heart raced, adrenaline pumping through him. "Sakura, create a barrier." Sakura immediately formed a protective barrier, channeling her chakra to shield them from the flames. The heat radiated around them, but the barrier held firm. "Great job. Now, let's counterattack," Sasuke called, readying his Chidori. "Solar flare again," Naruto shouted, gathering energy. As he prepared to unleash his technique, he realized he could combine it with Sasuke's Chidori for an even more powerful attack. "Let's combine our powers," he suggested, a grin spreading across his face. Sasuke nodded, understanding what Naruto meant. "We'll create a single concentrated attack." As Naruto focused on channeling the sunlight's energy, Sasuke infused his Chidori with lightning chakra, their techniques blending seamlessly. "Solar Chidori," they shouted together, unleashing a spectacular attack toward Kakashi. Kakashi, impressed by their teamwork, braced himself. "Nice try, but I won't go easy on you." He activated his own technique, countering their combined attack with a powerful gust of wind. The clash sent shockwaves through the training ground, but Naruto and Sasuke stood firm, determined to maintain their attack. The brilliance of their combined energy illuminated the area, pushing back against Kakashi's wind. Finally, the force of their combined jutsu overwhelmed Kakashi, forcing him to retreat momentarily. "Well done. You're improving." The three of them caught their breath, exhilarated by the successful execution of their combined technique. "That was awesome," Naruto exclaimed, unable to contain his excitement. "Did you see how we worked together?" "Yeah," Sasuke replied, a hint of a smile on his face. "We did well, but there's still room for improvement." "Definitely," Sakura agreed. "We should keep practicing our combinations." "Let's move on to the next scenario," Kakashi suggested, his eyes twinkling with pride. "I'll make it more challenging this time." As they prepared for the next challenge, the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the training ground. The atmosphere was charged with energy and camaraderie, each moment strengthening their bond as a team. "Bring it on," Naruto declared, ready to face whatever Kakashi had in store. The next challenge involved a series of illusionary jutsu, designed to test their perception and teamwork. Kakashi created clones that mirrored their movements, making it difficult to distinguish friend from foe. Stay alert. Remember, if you can't see the real one, use your senses, Kakashi called out. The clones began to launch attacks, and Naruto quickly focused on his surroundings. "Sakura, stick close to me. We can watch each other's backs. Right. Let's take them down together," she replied, determination shining in her eyes. Sasuke, ever observant, kept his eyes on the movements of the clones. "Don't lose focus. We need to find the real Kakashi." Naruto concentrated, tapping into Escanor's power. "Solar flare," he shouted, creating a bright light to illuminate the area and reveal Kakashi's position. The clones dispersed momentarily, and in that instant, Sasuke spotted the real Kakashi preparing to launch an attack. "There he is," he shouted, rushing forward with Chidori. "Solar flare, now," Naruto yelled, unleashing his technique once again to create a blinding light. The combination of their attacks caught Kakashi off guard, forcing him to dodge and regroup. "Impressive. You've figured out how to use the environment to your advantage. Thanks." Naruto beamed, feeling a surge of confidence. "We're going to keep getting stronger." Kakashi smiled, satisfied with their progress. "All right. Let's take it up a notch. You'll need to work on your endurance and stamina as well." The sun continued to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. The trio was determined to make the most of their training, fueled by the camaraderie they had built over the past weeks. As the last light of day faded, they wrapped up their training session, tired but exhilarated. "Today was amazing," Naruto said, grinning from ear to ear. "Yeah, I can feel us getting stronger," Sakura agreed, her eyes bright with enthusiasm. Sasuke nodded, a rare smile breaking through his usual stoic demeanor. "We'll keep improving. We have to." With their spirits high and determination renewed, they left the training ground, ready to take on whatever challenges awaited them. United as a team, they felt unstoppable. As the sun dipped below the horizon, a sense of tranquility settled over Konoha. The village was alive with the sounds of laughter and chatter as people enjoyed their evening routines. For Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, the day's training had solidified their bond further, igniting a fire within them to strive for greater heights. The next morning, Naruto awoke with a renewed sense of purpose. Today would be different. He could feel it in his bones. He rushed through his morning routine, fueled by thoughts of the power he had been honing within him and the responsibilities that came with it. "Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!" he shouted to himself as he bounded down the stairs, nearly flying out the door. He couldn't wait to meet up with his friends and get started on their training again. As he dashed through the streets of Konoha, he spotted a familiar pink-haired figure waiting for him by the training ground. "Sakura," he called, waving enthusiastically. "Good morning, Naruto. You're in a hurry today," she replied with a bright smile. "What's got you so pumped?" "I just have this feeling that today is going to be epic. We've been training hard, and I want to see how much stronger we've gotten," he exclaimed, his excitement contagious. As they approached the training area, Sasuke was already there, practicing his taijutsu with precision and speed. He paused as they arrived, a flicker of annoyance crossing his face. "You're late," he said flatly. "Late? I'm early. You just started without us," Naruto shot back, sticking his tongue out playfully. "Whatever you say, Dobi," Sasuke replied, rolling his eyes but unable to suppress a smirk. Sakura shook her head, amusement in her eyes. "All right. Let's focus. What do we want to work on today?" "More combos," Naruto suggested eagerly. "We can try some new techniques together. I've been thinking about how to integrate my solar flare with your healing." Sakura's face lit up with enthusiasm. "That's a great idea. If I can heal you while you distract the enemy, we'll have a much better chance in battle." Sasuke crossed his arms, considering their plan. And I can use my Sharingan to analyze the opponent's movements while you two work together. We can coordinate our attacks to overwhelm them. Exactly. Naruto replied, pumped for the challenge ahead. Let's get started. They set up a mock battle scenario, with Naruto taking on the role of the attacker and Sakura focusing on her healing techniques. Sasuke positioned himself at a distance, ready to assess and strategize. Ready? Naruto shouted, brimming with energy. Let's do this. Sakura replied, determination radiating from her. Sasuke nodded, keeping his eyes sharp. Go. Naruto charged forward, gathering chakra for his solar flare as he approached an imaginary opponent. Solar flare, he yelled, releasing a blinding burst of light that illuminated the training ground. Sakura quickly followed suit, positioning herself to catch any injuries Naruto might sustain. I'm ready to heal you. Just stay on your feet, Sasuke observed, noting how Naruto's movements flowed with the attack. Keep it up. Now, switch it up. Use your clones. Right? Naruto called out, summoning a multitude of shadow clones that surrounded him. All right. Everyone, let's go. The clones charged, distracting the imaginary enemy while Naruto focused on maintaining the solar flare. Sasuke watched closely, analyzing Naruto's form and strategy. Nice job. But you need to be more mindful of your energy levels, he advised. Don't waste your chakra on unnecessary moves. Naruto nodded, appreciating the feedback. I'll be more careful. As the mock battle continued, Sakura began to weave her healing chakra into the process, creating a protective barrier around Naruto that would absorb damage. This should help you stay in the fight longer, she shouted. Thanks, Sakura. This is going to be awesome, he exclaimed, feeling the warmth of her chakra enveloping him. With their combined efforts, they pushed each other to new limits, each move showcasing their growth as a team. They practiced their strategies throughout the morning, working through various scenarios and refining their techniques. After several intense rounds, they took a break, collapsing on the grass, panting and laughing. That was incredible, Naruto exclaimed, wiping the sweat from his brow. We're getting so much better. Yeah, Sakura agreed, still catching her breath. The way we coordinated our moves was perfect. Sasuke, leaning back against a tree, nodded in agreement. But we need to work on our timing. We can't always rely on surprise attacks. Predictability can be a weakness. True, Naruto replied, a thoughtful expression crossing his face. But we'll figure it out. We just need to keep training. As they rested, Kakashi arrived, leaning against the tree with his usual lazy demeanor. You all seem to be in high spirits. I hope that means your training is going well. It is, Kakashi-sensei. Naruto replied, sitting up. We're really getting the hang of our techniques and working as a team. Kakashi smiled, pleased with their progress. Good. The real challenge will come when you face stronger opponents. You'll need to be adaptable in every situation. We know. We're ready for anything, Naruto declared confidently. Is that so? Then how about we test your skills against some real competition? Kakashi suggested, his eye crinkling with a hint of mischief. Real competition? Sakura repeated, curiosity piqued. Yes. I've arranged for you to spar against a team of experienced genin from another village, Kakashi explained. It will give you a taste of what it's like to fight against more skilled opponents. Naruto's eyes sparkled with excitement. Awesome. When do we start? In an hour. You'll have time to prepare and strategize, Kakashi replied. Use this time wisely. Got it. We'll be ready, Naruto declared, determination surging through him. They spent the next hour discussing their strategy for the upcoming match, ensuring that they were all on the same page. The thought of facing experienced opponents fueled their excitement, but it also reminded them of the challenges that lay ahead. As the hour approached, they gathered their gear and made their way to the designated training ground where the sparring match would take place. The anticipation buzzed in the air, and the sun hung high above, casting a warm glow over the scene. When they arrived, they found a team of 3 waiting for them, all looking equally determined. The opposing team members introduced themselves confidently. A tall girl with striking green hair, a muscular boy with a confident smirk, and a quick-eyed boy with a keen gaze. Ready to lose? The green-haired girl taunted playfully. A smile on her face. Naruto shot back, grinning widely. Not a chance. We're going to give it our all. Let's see what you've got. Then, the muscular boy challenged, cracking his knuckles. As they prepared for the match, Kakashi stepped forward, acting as the referee. Remember, this is a friendly sparring match. No lethal techniques. And keep it controlled. Ready? Naruto nodded, feeling the rush of adrenaline course through him. Let's do this. Begin. Kakashi shouted, stepping back to observe the action. Without hesitation, Naruto charged forward, feeling the familiar energy of Escanor surging within him. Solar flare, he shouted, unleashing a burst of light that illuminated the training ground. The opposing team reacted quickly, the muscular boy dodging while the green-haired girl used a wind technique to shield her teammates from the blast. Sasuke, using his Sharingan, assessed their movements and called out, Sakura, cover Naruto. I'll take the boy on the left. Got it. Sakura replied, readying herself to support Naruto while keeping an eye on their opponents. As the fight intensified, Naruto and Sakura worked together seamlessly, their training paying off. They combined their techniques, distracting their opponents while Sasuke moved in for swift strikes. The quick-eyed boy launched a barrage of shuriken, but Sakura created a barrier just in time to deflect them. Nice try, she called out, determination blazing in her eyes. Naruto seized the opportunity, charging forward with renewed energy. Solar flare, he shouted, the brilliant light temporarily blinding their opponents once more. Now, Sasuke, he yelled, signaling for his teammate to strike. Sasuke darted in, using the confusion to unleash a series of precise blows that caught the muscular boy off guard. The opposing team quickly regrouped, and the battle raged on, each side showcasing their skills. As they fought, Naruto felt a sense of exhilaration, the power of Escanor amplifying his strength. He pushed himself further, channeling that energy into each attack. But the green-haired girl was not to be underestimated. I won't let you win that easily, she exclaimed, summoning a powerful wind that whipped through the training ground. The gust caught Naruto off balance, and he struggled to maintain his footing. Whoa! He shouted, trying to steady himself. Stay focused. Sasuke called out, countering with his own technique. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. He shouted, launching a fireball toward their opponents. The fireball collided with the wind, creating a massive explosion that sent dust and debris flying. Now, Sakura, Naruto shouted, sensing an opening. Use your healing chakra to reinforce our defenses. Sakura nodded, channeling her chakra into a barrier that enveloped them, protecting them from the aftershock of the explosion. Let's finish this, Sasuke said, determination in his voice. Naruto, combine your solar flare with my Chidori. Right. Naruto exclaimed, gathering energy once again. He felt the warmth of the sun radiating through him, amplified by Escanor's power. Solar Chidori. Sasuke formed his Chidori, and as they executed their combined attack, a blinding light surged forward, overwhelming their opponents. The clash shook the ground beneath them, and the energy burst lit up the sky. As the dust settled, they found their opponents staggered but still standing, showing remarkable resilience. The quick-eyed boy grinned, impressed. Not bad. You've got some serious skills. Naruto smiled back, breathing heavily but filled with pride. Thanks. We've been training hard. Kakashi stepped forward, raising his hand to signal the end of the match. All right. That's enough. You all did great. This was an excellent demonstration of teamwork and strategy. The opposing team nodded in acknowledgement, clearly impressed with Naruto and his friends. You guys are strong. We'd love to train with you again sometime, the green-haired girl said, smiling warmly. Definitely. Naruto replied, thrilled by the praise. Let's do it. As they wrapped up the match and exchanged goodbyes, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura couldn't help but feel a surge of accomplishment. They had faced real competition and held their ground, proving just how far they had come. We really did it. Naruto exclaimed, unable to contain his excitement. Yeah. But we still have a long way to go, Sasuke reminded them, a determined glint in his eyes. Agreed, Sakura added, her spirit unwavering. But we're getting stronger together. With their spirits high and a sense of camaraderie solidified, they left the training ground, eager for their next challenge. Together, they were unstoppable, ready to face whatever the future held. As the sun set over Konoha, casting a warm golden hue across the village, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura made their way back to the village center. Their spirits were high after their sparring match, and they relished the satisfaction of their teamwork. The thought of their growing strength filled Naruto with excitement, fueling his dreams of becoming Hokage. Hey, how about we grab some ramen to celebrate? Naruto suggested, his stomach grumbling in agreement. Ramen sounds great. Sakura chimed in, her eyes lighting up at the prospect of a delicious meal. Sasuke, ever the pragmatist, nodded slightly. I suppose it's a good way to recover after a hard training session. With that, the trio made their way to Ichiraku Ramen. As they entered, the warm, savory aroma enveloped them, and they quickly took their usual seats. Welcome back, Naruto. Ayame, the owner's daughter, greeted them with a smile. What can I get for you today? Give me the biggest bowl of miso ramen you've got, Naruto exclaimed, rubbing his hands together in anticipation. Sakura ordered her favorite tonkatsu ramen, while Sasuke opted for a simple shoyu. As they waited for their meals, they discussed their training and the progress they had made. I really felt the difference during that match, Naruto said, a wide grin on his face. The way we coordinated our attacks was incredible. I can't wait to show the villagers how strong we've become. Sakura nodded, her determination shining through. And it's not just about our physical strength. Our teamwork has improved so much, and that will make all the difference in a real battle. Sasuke crossed his arms, a contemplative look on his face. It's good that we're getting stronger, but we can't become complacent. There are threats out there that are far more powerful than anything we've faced so far. Right, Naruto said, his enthusiasm unyielding. But we'll be ready for them. With my new powers and our teamwork, we can take on anything. Their bowls arrived, and the trio dug in, savoring the flavors. As Naruto slurped his noodles, his mind wandered to the future. What challenges awaited them? He couldn't shake the feeling that something significant was on the horizon. After finishing their meal and chatting animatedly, they left Ichiraku Ramen, filled with a renewed sense of purpose. As they strolled through the village, they could see families enjoying the evening together, laughter ringing in the air. Suddenly, Naruto spotted Iruka-sensei walking toward them. Iruka-sensei, he called, waving excitedly. Iruka approached with a smile. Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura. It's good to see you all. How was training today? It was awesome. Sensei, we had a sparring match against a team from another village, and we did really well. Naruto boasted proudly. I'm glad to hear that, Iruka replied, his expression turning serious. But remember, the training never stops. There's always more to learn and improve upon. Of course, Iruka-sensei, Sakura replied, her respect for him evident. As they continued chatting, a commotion erupted nearby. They turned to see a crowd gathering around the village square. Curious, they approached, pushing their way through the throng of people. What's going on? Sasuke asked, his eyes narrowing as he scanned the scene. In the center of the crowd, a tall figure stood with an air of authority. It was the Hokage, Tsunade, addressing the villagers. I appreciate everyone gathering here. I have important news regarding recent developments in the Land of Fire. Naruto's heart raced at the sight of Tsunade. She had always commanded respect, and her presence was enough to draw everyone's attention. There have been reports of rogue ninjas infiltrating our borders. They've been spotted gathering near the outskirts of the village, and we need to be prepared, she announced, her voice firm. Gasps filled the crowd, and murmurs of concern rippled through the onlookers. Naruto clenched his fists, determination surging within him. Rogue ninjas? We can't let them threaten our home, Tsunade continued. We'll be organizing teams to investigate and handle the situation. I need volunteers who are willing to assist. This is a serious matter, and I expect all of you to be ready. Without hesitation, Naruto raised his hand. I'm in. We'll help however we can. Sakura followed suit, raising her hand alongside him. Me too. We won't let anyone harm our village. Sasuke, slightly more reserved, nodded. Count me in. Excellent. Tsunade replied, a glimmer of approval in her eyes. We'll need every capable ninja available for this mission. I'll announce the teams shortly. As Tsunade concluded her speech, the crowd dispersed. But Naruto felt a sense of urgency growing within him. We need to train harder than ever, he declared, eyes sparkling with determination. We can't let those rogue ninjas come into our village unchallenged. Agreed, Sasuke said, his voice steady. We'll need to be in top form if we're going to face them. I'll start working on my healing techniques to make sure we're all at our best. Sakura added, her resolve unwavering. The trio spent the remainder of the evening strategizing and preparing for the potential threat. They knew that facing rogue ninjas would require not only their physical strength but also their cunning and resourcefulness. As the moon rose high in the sky, casting a silvery glow over Konoha, Naruto lay in bed, thoughts swirling in his mind. He could feel Escanor's power within him, a warm light that promised strength and resilience. He had trained hard to unlock this potential, and he would use it to protect his friends and his village. Tomorrow, he murmured to himself, we'll show those rogue ninjas what we're made of. With a firm resolve settling within him, Naruto drifted off to sleep, dreaming of battles to come and the bonds that would carry him through them. As dawn broke over Konoha, the village stirred to life with the sounds of birds chirping and the aroma of breakfast wafting through the air. Naruto awoke with an invigorated spirit, feeling the remnants of Escanor's power pulsing within him. Today, he would take on the challenge of rogue ninjas head-on. He sprang out of bed, his mind racing with strategies and techniques to train. He knew that the training they had done so far was just the beginning. If they were going to face rogue ninjas, they needed to be more prepared than ever. After a quick breakfast of instant ramen, his go-to meal, Naruto made his way to the training ground. He arrived to find Sasuke and Sakura already there, both looking focused and ready for the day. Morning, guys. Naruto greeted them, excitement bubbling in his voice. Morning, Naruto, Sakura replied, stretching her arms. Ready to train? More than ready. We need to refine our techniques and improve our teamwork, Naruto said, determination shining in his blue eyes. Sasuke nodded in agreement. We'll also need to analyze our strengths and weaknesses. We can't afford to be caught off guard. Right, Naruto said, his fists clenched. Let's do this. They began their training session with a series of drills, focusing on their individual techniques before integrating them into teamwork exercises. Naruto practiced his solar flare, ensuring he could control the power without overwhelming himself or his teammates. Sakura worked on her healing techniques, incorporating them into combat scenarios, while Sasuke honed his Sharingan, developing strategies for various attack patterns. Let's put what we've learned to the test, Sasuke suggested after an intense training session. We'll simulate a battle against the rogue ninjas. Great idea. I'll lead the charge, Naruto exclaimed, his eyes gleaming with eagerness. Just remember, we need to work together, Sakura cautioned, her voice firm. Don't act recklessly, or we could end up in trouble. I know. I'll stay focused, he assured her. They set up a mock battle scenario, with Naruto taking the lead against Sasuke and Sakura, who would act as the opposing rogue ninjas. As the training began, Naruto charged forward, gathering chakra for his solar flare. Solar flare, he shouted, releasing a blinding light that illuminated the training ground. Sasuke and Sakura quickly evaded, executing their own techniques to counter Naruto's attack. We need to create an opening, Sasuke called out, darting to the side. Sakura focused her chakra and created a protective barrier around Sasuke, allowing him to close the distance. I'll cover you, Sasuke. Use your Sharingan. Got it, Sasuke replied, activating his Sharingan. He assessed Naruto's movements, analyzing his patterns as he launched a series of shuriken to distract him. Nice move, Naruto called out, dodging skillfully. But I'm not going down that easy. Naruto summoned several shadow clones, sending them to swarm Sasuke while maintaining focus on his own movements. "Let's see how you handle this," he shouted, the energy within him surging. The clones charged at Sasuke. But he remained calm, using his Sharingan to anticipate their movements. "Sakura, now!" he shouted, allowing her to take the offensive. Sakura dashed forward, her hands glowing with healing chakra. "Let's create a diversion," she yelled, sending out a wave of chakra to bolster Naruto's clones. "Perfect. Let's finish this," Naruto shouted, channeling Escanor's power into his attack. Solar Chidori. The combined technique surged forward, merging the light of the solar flare with Sasuke's lightning. The resulting burst illuminated the training ground, a testament to their growth as a team. "Wow!" Sakura exclaimed, barely managing to evade the blast. "That's incredible." As the dust settled, they regrouped, breathing heavily but filled with pride. "We did it," Naruto declared, his energy still high. "That was awesome." "Yeah. But we still need to refine our teamwork," Sasuke replied, a thoughtful look on his face. "We can't rely solely on our individual techniques. We need to anticipate each other's moves better." "Agreed," Sakura said, nodding. "We'll keep working on it." As they wrapped up their training, they could feel the sun hanging low in the sky, signaling that it was almost time for Tsunade's announcement regarding the rogue ninjas. Naruto's heart raced with anticipation. "Let's hurry. We need to hear what Tsunade has planned for us," he urged, leading the way back to the village center. When they arrived, they found a crowd gathered in front of the Hokage's office. Tsunade stood at the forefront, her expression serious. "Thank you all for coming. As you know, we've received credible information regarding the rogue ninjas. They've been spotted gathering in the Forest of Death." Gasps filled the air, and Naruto clenched his fists, feeling the surge of determination rise within him. "We won't let them hurt anyone," Tsunade continued. "We will be organizing teams to investigate and neutralize this threat. I need strong, capable ninjas willing to protect our village." Without a second thought, Naruto shouted, "We're in. We'll do whatever it takes." Sakura and Sasuke echoed his sentiment, their resolve unwavering. Tsunade smiled slightly at their enthusiasm. "I appreciate your eagerness. I'll assign you to Team 7 for this mission. Be prepared. You'll be facing a group of rogue ninjas who are skilled and dangerous. You must work together and rely on each other's strengths." "Understood," Naruto replied, determination blazing in his eyes. "We won't let you down." Tsunade nodded, her expression turning serious again. "Gather your gear and meet back here in 1 hour. We need to move quickly. The safety of Konoha depends on you." As the crowd dispersed, Naruto felt a mix of excitement and adrenaline coursing through him. This was it. They were going to face a real challenge. And he could feel the power of Escanor within him, ready to unleash its full potential. "Let's go get ready," he urged his teammates, leading the way as they headed toward their homes to prepare. Once he arrived, Naruto quickly gathered his gear, making sure he had everything he needed: shuriken, kunai, and a few snacks for the journey. As he packed, he thought about what lay ahead. The thought of facing rogue ninjas sent a thrill through him, but he knew he had to stay focused. After a brief moment of reflection, he clenched his fists, a determined look on his face. "I won't let anything happen to my friends or my village." When he returned to the meeting point, he found Sasuke and Sakura already there, both looking serious and ready for action. "Are you guys prepared?" Naruto asked, trying to keep his spirits high. "Ready as we'll ever be," Sasuke replied, his expression focused. "Let's show those rogue ninjas what we're made of," Sakura declared, her eyes shining with determination. Tsunade soon arrived, her presence commanding respect. "I trust you're all ready. This mission will be dangerous, and I expect you to stay alert and vigilant." As they nodded in agreement, Tsunade explained their plan of action, detailing the layout of the Forest of Death and the potential strategies they could use. She assigned them specific roles during the mission, emphasizing the importance of communication and teamwork. With their instructions set, they set off toward the Forest of Death, the tension palpable in the air. As they neared their destination, Naruto felt the adrenaline surging through him. This was it, the moment they would face the rogue ninjas and prove their strength. As they entered the dense forest, Shadows danced around them, and the atmosphere shifted. The sounds of rustling leaves and distant animals echoed through the air, a stark reminder of the danger lurking within. Naruto looked at his friends, their faces set with determination. Let's do this. Together. With a deep breath, they pressed forward into the unknown, ready to confront whatever awaited them in the shadows. The deeper they ventured into the forest of death, the more intense the atmosphere became. The canopy overhead filtered the sunlight, casting eerie shadows on the forest floor. Each rustle of leaves sent a thrill down Naruto's spine, a mix of excitement and anxiety. He could feel the power of Escanor within him, a warmth that promised strength but also a weight of responsibility. Stay alert, Sasuke said, his voice low as he scanned their surroundings. We need to be ready for anything. Right. We've trained for this. Naruto replied, determination swelling within him. No rogue ninja is going to take us by surprise. Sakura, walking slightly ahead, focused on the chakra signatures in the area. I can sense a few chakra levels nearby, she said, her brows furrowed in concentration. It feels like a group of 3. They're a bit farther ahead, just past that clearing. Naruto nodded, adrenaline pumping through him. Let's move. We'll take them by surprise. They approached the clearing cautiously, their movements synchronized. As they reached the edge, Naruto's heart raced at the sight before them. 3 rogue ninjas, clad in dark clothing, were gathered around a makeshift camp, their voices low but tense. Do you really think we can take down Konoha's ninjas? One of them scoffed, tossing a kunai in the air. They're just kids. We shouldn't underestimate them. Another replied, a hint of concern in his voice. They might surprise us. We need to be ready for anything. Naruto exchanged glances with Sasuke and Sakura, a plan forming in his mind. We can't let them get away with underestimating us. He whispered. Let's attack together. Agreed. Sasuke said, his eyes narrowing with focus. We'll coordinate our attack. On 3. Sakura whispered, her hands gathering chakra for a support technique. 1, 2, 3. With a shout, Naruto charged forward, unleashing a burst of chakra. Solar flare, he cried, releasing a blinding light that enveloped the clearing. The rogue ninjas shielded their eyes, momentarily disoriented. Seizing the opportunity, Sasuke lunged forward, his Chidori crackling with energy. Chidori, he shouted, aiming for the closest rogue ninja. Before the rogue could react, Sasuke's attack struck true, sending the ninja sprawling to the ground. The other 2 quickly regained their senses, scrambling to fight back. Focus on the one in the back, Sakura yelled, forming her healing barrier to protect Sasuke. I'll distract the other. With agility and precision, Sakura dashed toward the second rogue ninja, throwing shuriken as a diversion. You won't get away that easily, she shouted, channeling her chakra into a protective barrier. Naruto, emboldened by his teammates' actions, focused his energy for a more powerful attack. Solar Chidori, he called, combining the techniques into a more potent blast. As the rogue ninja attempted to dodge, the combined force of Naruto and Sasuke's attacks closed in on him. The rogue's eyes widened in shock as the energy surged, overwhelming him and sending him crashing to the ground. Nice teamwork, Naruto exclaimed, grinning at Sasuke and Sakura. But their victory was short-lived. The last rogue ninja, now enraged and determined to fight back, glared at them. You think you're tough? You're just kids playing ninja. He sneered, gathering his own chakra. Don't let him get to you. Sasuke warned, his voice steady. Stay focused. The rogue ninja unleashed a wave of explosive tags, sending them flying toward Naruto and his friends. I'll show you the real power of a rogue ninja. Watch out. Sakura shouted, pushing her chakra into a barrier to shield them. The tags detonated, creating a massive explosion that lit up the clearing. Naruto, fueled by Escanor's power, stood firm, feeling the heat wash over him. No way I'm backing down, he declared, channeling his energy. Solar flare. The blinding light countered the explosion, creating a protective aura around them. As the dust settled, Naruto emerged, more determined than ever. We can't lose here. Sasuke nodded, preparing for another attack. Let's finish this. As the rogue ninja staggered back, trying to regain his footing, Naruto and Sasuke coordinated their final assault. Naruto charged forward, solar energy swirling around him. Let's end this together. Sasuke powered up his Chidori, both attacks merging into a singular, radiant force. Solar Chidori. With a roar, they launched the attack, a dazzling light erupting from their combined strength. The rogue ninja barely had time to react before the blast struck him, overwhelming his defenses and sending him crashing to the ground. Panting and exhausted, Naruto looked down at the defeated rogue ninja. "That's what you get for underestimating us," he declared, his voice full of triumph. Sakura and Sasuke joined him, their expressions a mix of relief and pride. "We did it," Sakura exclaimed, a bright smile on her face. "Not bad for a team of kids," Sasuke added, smirking slightly. As they caught their breath, they knew this victory was just the beginning. The thrill of the battle still coursed through them, igniting a fire of determination to protect their village. But just as they began to celebrate, Naruto noticed a faint rustling in the bushes nearby. "Wait, I think there's more," he warned, tensing up. Sasuke and Sakura exchanged worried glances. "We need to stay alert," Sasuke said, scanning the area for any signs of danger. Suddenly, more rogue ninjas emerged from the shadows, their eyes filled with malice. "You've made a mistake coming here. Konoha ninjas," one of them sneered, their posture aggressive. "Looks like we have company," Naruto said, his expression turning serious. "We'll have to fight again." Sasuke smirked, his Sharingan activated. "We're not backing down now. Together, we'll take them all," Sakura declared, her resolve unwavering. With their hearts set and their powers ignited, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura prepared to face the next wave of challenges. They would show these rogue ninjas the strength of their bond and the true power of Konoha's finest. The tension in the air thickened as the additional rogue ninjas emerged from the shadows, their eyes filled with malice and intent. The trio of Konoha ninjas, now battle-hardened and unified, steeled themselves for the impending fight. "There are too many of them," Sakura exclaimed, her eyes darting around to assess the situation. "We need a plan. Stay close," Naruto instructed, feeling the pulse of Escanor's power coursing through him, lending him a sense of confidence. "We'll take them down one by one," Sasuke nodded, scanning the rogue ninjas with his Sharingan. "I'll identify their strongest fighter. We focus on them first. The rest will scatter." With a low growl, the lead rogue ninja stepped forward, his posture aggressive. "You think you can take us? You'll regret underestimating the strength of rogue ninjas." Naruto clenched his fists, channeling the energy swirling inside him. "We'll show you what we're made of." Solar flare. A brilliant burst of light erupted from Naruto, blinding the rogue ninjas and causing them to stagger back. Seizing the opportunity, Sasuke sprang into action, launching a flurry of shuriken toward the disoriented enemies. "Focus fire on the leader," he shouted, determined to eliminate the strongest threat. As the shuriken flew through the air, the lead rogue ninja narrowly dodged, his reflexes sharp despite the surprise. "You think that little trick will work on me?" he sneered, gathering his chakra for a counterattack. "Let's finish this quickly," Sakura yelled, preparing to support Sasuke. "I'll provide cover." With Naruto at the forefront, they charged forward, creating a wall of energy around them. "Let's do this," Naruto called out, the warmth of Escanor's power radiating from him. Sasuke and Sakura flanked him, their movements precise and practiced. They coordinated seamlessly, launching simultaneous attacks to overwhelm the rogue leader. Sasuke unleashed a barrage of lightning-infused kunai, while Sakura sent a wave of healing chakra to boost Naruto's strength. Solar Chidori. Naruto roared, merging the solar energy with his teammates' techniques, creating a devastating combination attack. The rogue leader barely had time to react before the combined force of the attack struck him squarely, sending him crashing into a nearby tree. The impact shook the ground, and the other rogue ninjas hesitated, fear creeping into their expressions. "Don't let up," Sasuke shouted, urging them to maintain their momentum. "Now's our chance." With renewed determination, Naruto launched forward, pushing past the fear of facing multiple opponents. "We'll take them all down," he declared, his voice echoing through the forest. As he engaged the nearest rogue ninja, he summoned another burst of solar energy. Solar flare. The bright light exploded around him, blinding his opponent and giving Naruto the opening he needed. Sakura and Sasuke fought side by side, their movements fluid and instinctive. Sasuke's Sharingan allowed him to predict his opponent's moves, countering each attack with precise strikes. Sakura, using her healing abilities strategically, provided support to both Naruto and Sasuke, ensuring they remained at their peak. The rogue ninjas, now realizing they were outmatched, began to retreat. "We can't let them escape," one of them shouted, panic rising in his voice. "Don't let them get away," Naruto yelled, his competitive spirit igniting. He dashed toward the fleeing rogue ninja, channeling Escanor's power once more. "I won't let you harm anyone else." As he closed the distance, he gathered chakra for one final attack. "Solar barrage," he shouted, unleashing a flurry of solar energy projectiles that struck the rogue ninja, sending him crashing to the ground. With their leader defeated and the remaining rogue ninjas demoralized, the remaining fighters scattered into the forest, disappearing among the trees. The trio stood together, panting heavily but victorious. "Did we just do that?" Sakura gasped, her chest heaving as she looked at her teammates. "We did," Naruto replied, exhilaration coursing through him. "We worked perfectly together." Sasuke, still focused, scanned the area. "But we can't celebrate yet. We need to secure the area and ensure no more rogue ninjas are hiding." "Right," Sakura agreed, nodding firmly. "Let's check the surroundings." They began to move cautiously, making their way through the forest, remaining vigilant for any signs of danger. As they walked, Naruto's thoughts raced with adrenaline. They had faced formidable opponents, and they had emerged victorious together. This experience only solidified their bond and trust in one another. After a thorough sweep of the area, they found no more rogue ninjas lurking about. Exhausted but satisfied, they regrouped in the clearing where they had first fought. "We should report back to Tsunade," Sasuke suggested, his eyes serious. "We need to inform her of what happened here." "Yeah. And we need to make sure the village is safe," Naruto said, feeling a sense of responsibility weighing on him. Sakura smiled, her eyes sparkling with pride. "I can't believe we took them all on. We make a great team." Naruto nodded, the warmth of camaraderie filling him. "Together, we can take on anything." As they prepared to head back to the village, Naruto felt a renewed sense of purpose. The power of Escanor within him had not only given him strength but had also ignited a fire to protect his friends and his home. With Sasuke and Sakura by his side, he felt invincible, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. They had proven themselves today. But he knew this was only the beginning. The world of shinobi was vast and filled with dangers yet to be confronted. As they made their way back, Naruto couldn't help but feel a thrill of excitement for the battles still to come. They would grow stronger, face new challenges, and protect Konoha together. The journey back to Konoha was filled with a mixture of exhaustion and exhilaration. The adrenaline from their battle still coursed through Naruto's veins, driving him forward with each step. As they emerged from the dense trees of the Forest of Death, the familiar sights and sounds of the Hidden Leaf Village came into view, and a sense of relief washed over him. "We made it back in one piece," Sakura said, her voice laced with fatigue but filled with satisfaction. "Let's report to Tsunade before we rest. Right? We need to let her know about the rogue ninjas." Naruto replied, his determination unwavering. "And maybe she'll have some new missions for us." Sasuke rolled his eyes, but a small smirk tugged at the corners of his mouth. "You're always thinking about the next mission, aren't you?" "Of course. There's so much more to do. And I want to get stronger," Naruto declared, his eyes shining with ambition. As they approached the Hokage Tower, the atmosphere shifted. The streets of Konoha buzzed with activity. Villagers going about their daily lives, unaware of the dangers lurking outside their peaceful village. Naruto's heart swelled with pride. He would protect this place with everything he had. Once inside the tower, they were greeted by Shizune, who looked up from her paperwork. "You're back. Tsunade is expecting you." She heard about the rogue ninjas from the patrols. Thanks, Shizune. Naruto said, leading the way to Tsunade's office. He pushed open the door without hesitation. A grin plastered on his face. Tsunade looked up from her desk, her expression shifting from stern to relieved. You're back. I heard you encountered rogue ninjas. Are you all okay? We're fine? Naruto replied enthusiastically. We took them down together. There were more than we expected. But we worked as a team. Sasuke nodded, his expression serious. We managed to defeat their leader. They were planning to attack the village. Tsunade's brow furrowed slightly, and she leaned back in her chair. I appreciate your quick thinking and teamwork. This is serious. If rogue ninjas are targeting Konoha, we need to be on high alert. Do you have any new missions for us? Naruto asked, his eyes bright with eagerness. Actually, yes, Tsunade replied, pulling out a scroll from her desk. I have a few assignments that need immediate attention. You'll be working with a few other teams to bolster security around the village and gather intel on rogue activities. Sounds great, Naruto said, pumping his fist into the air. We'll show them what we're made of. After Tsunade explained the details of their new missions, the trio left her office, excitement buzzing in the air. We should get some rest before we head out again, Sakura suggested, rubbing her tired eyes. Naruto shook his head vigorously. No way. Let's train. I want to get even stronger. Sasuke smirked, clearly amused. You're relentless. Fine. But we'll need to find a good training spot away from the village. I don't want to cause any unnecessary commotion. Awesome. Let's go to the training grounds, Naruto exclaimed, leading the way with renewed vigor. At the training grounds, the atmosphere was charged with energy. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura set up their usual training routine, pushing each other to improve. Naruto felt the familiar warmth of Escanor's power within him, driving him to reach new heights. As they sparred, Naruto focused on channeling his solar energy into his techniques. He wanted to harness the full extent of Escanor's strength without the drawbacks that usually accompanied it. Don't hold back, Naruto, Sasuke taunted, his Sharingan activated. I want to see what you've got. Alright. You asked for it, Naruto shouted, summoning a swirling mass of solar energy. Solar barrage. With a fierce determination, he launched a series of radiant projectiles at Sasuke, who deftly dodged and countered with a flurry of kunai. The training ground erupted in a spectacle of light and energy as the two pushed each other to their limits. Nice move, Sakura cheered, her eyes wide with admiration. You're getting even stronger, Naruto. As they continued their training, the sun began to set, casting an orange hue across the sky. The warm colors mirrored the warmth in Naruto's heart as he fought alongside his friends. After several hours of training, they finally collapsed onto the grass, panting heavily but filled with satisfaction. I can't believe how much we improved today, Sakura said, her voice breathless but excited. If we keep this up, we'll be unstoppable. Yeah. We'll show everyone what we're capable of, Naruto replied, grinning from ear to ear. Sasuke lay back, looking up at the stars beginning to twinkle in the sky. Just remember, it's not just about strength. We need to work together and stay sharp if we want to protect Konoha. Naruto nodded, his expression growing serious. You're right. We need to be ready for anything that comes our way. As they relaxed in the peaceful atmosphere, they knew that more challenges awaited them. The village was counting on them, and they would not let their friends down. The night deepened, and they reluctantly made their way back to the village, their spirits high. They were a team, united by friendship and a shared purpose. The following days were a blur of activity as Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura threw themselves into their missions. Each assignment not only tested their skills but also strengthened the bond between them. The thrill of teamwork and the desire to protect Konoha drove them forward, and each mission reinforced their commitment to one another. One afternoon, after a particularly grueling mission involving tracking down rogue ninjas near the outskirts of the Land of Fire, they returned to the village, exhaustion evident in their faces. Finally, some downtime, Naruto said, stretching his arms above his head. I could use a bowl of ramen right about now. Ramen again? Sasuke replied, his tone teasing. Can't you think of anything else? Hey, ramen is a food group. Naruto shot back, grinning. Besides, it's the best way to celebrate our victories. Sakura chuckled, shaking her head. Alright, let's get some ramen. Then we can plan our next training session. As they made their way to Ichiraku Ramen, the familiar sense of broth and noodles filled the air, stirring Naruto's appetite. The shop was bustling with customers, and Naruto couldn't help but dash inside, his enthusiasm infectious. 3 bowls of your best ramen, please, he called out to Tucci, the owner. Coming right up, Naruto. Tucci replied with a warm smile. As they waited for their food, Naruto leaned over the counter, eagerly chatting with Tucci about their recent missions. Sasuke and Sakura exchanged amused glances, happy to see Naruto so animated. Once their bowls arrived, Naruto dug in with gusto, slurping the noodles with a satisfied grin. This is the best, he declared, his mouth full. I could eat this every day. Sasuke rolled his eyes, but even he couldn't hide a small smile. You should probably focus on your training too, not just ramen. Sure, but training is more fun with ramen, Naruto insisted, lifting his bowl in a mock toast. To teamwork and ramen. Cheers. Sakura laughed, raising her bowl as well. To teamwork. As they enjoyed their meal, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling that something was brewing beyond the village. He had heard whispers of increased rogue activity and sensed a larger threat looming over Konoha. Despite his carefree demeanor, a shadow of worry crossed his mind. Do you guys feel like something's off? He asked suddenly, putting down his chopsticks. What do you mean? Sakura asked, concern evident in her eyes. I don't know. It just feels like we're in the calm before a storm. There have been too many rogue attacks lately, and I can't shake the feeling that they're all connected, Naruto replied, furrowing his brow. Sasuke nodded slowly. I've noticed it too. We should keep an eye on the village and our surroundings. Something doesn't feel right. Then let's prepare ourselves, Sakura said firmly. We'll train harder and stay alert. If there's a bigger threat out there, we need to be ready. Finishing their meal, they paid and left the ramen shop, their minds filled with determination. As they made their way back to the training grounds, the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. Naruto felt a surge of energy as he channeled Escanor's power, ready to push himself further than ever before. At the training grounds, they began their session with intense focus. Sasuke worked on refining his Sharingan, enhancing his ability to read movements and predict attacks. Sakura practiced her healing techniques, determined to improve her chakra control. Meanwhile, Naruto stood in the center of the training area, his eyes closed as he concentrated on the solar energy flowing within him. He envisioned the power of Escanor, the strength that came with the rising sun. With each breath, he felt that warmth radiating from within. All right, let's push our limits, he shouted, determination shining in his eyes. I'm going to master solar flare and solar barrage. As he unleashed the techniques, radiant light erupted from him, illuminating the training ground. The blasts of solar energy soared into the sky, showcasing the magnitude of his power. Wow! That's incredible, Naruto! Sakura exclaimed, her eyes wide with admiration. Keep going, Sasuke encouraged, his tone serious but impressed. You're getting stronger every day. The sun dipped lower on the horizon, the last rays of light illuminating the trio as they trained relentlessly, their bonds deepening with each shared effort. Hours passed, and as night fell, they finally collapsed onto the grass, exhausted but fulfilled. Great job today, everyone, Sakura said, her voice slightly hoarse. I can feel our teamwork getting stronger. Naruto grinned, wiping the sweat from his brow. Yeah, we're unstoppable. Sasuke, ever the pragmatist, looked up at the stars twinkling above. But we need to stay vigilant. If something is coming, we can't let our guard down. The others nodded in agreement, the weight of their responsibilities settling in. They had faced challenges before, but the thought of a looming threat added an edge of seriousness to their training. As they began to head back to the village, Naruto felt a swell of determination within him. No matter what challenges awaited them, they would face them together. He would protect his friends, his village, and proved that he was worthy of the power he wielded. Little did they know, the winds of change were already stirring, and their greatest challenge was yet to come. The following weeks passed in a whirlwind of training, missions, and growing camaraderie. With each mission, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura honed their skills, preparing for the unknown threats that loomed on the horizon. The trio felt more like a family, their bond strengthening with every shared challenge. One morning, as the sun rose over Konoha, Naruto awoke with a sense of urgency. Today felt different, charged with an energy he couldn't quite place. After a quick breakfast, he met up with Sasuke and Sakura at their usual training spot. "Hey, guys. Ready for some intense training?" Naruto shouted, his excitement palpable. Sasuke, already practicing his kunai throws, glanced over. "You're always ready for training. What's on your mind today?" "I feel like I'm close to mastering my solar techniques," Naruto exclaimed, pumping his fist. "Let's start with some sparring." Sakura nodded, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "I'm ready. Let's see what you've got, Naruto." As they warmed up, Naruto focused on the warmth radiating within him, the power of Escanor coursing through his veins. He envisioned the sun, its rays empowering him, and the feeling of invincibility that came with it. They began their sparring session, Naruto launching himself at Sakura first. "Here I come," he yelled, channeling his energy into a solar barrage, sending a flurry of radiant projectiles toward her. Sakura dodged with ease, her movements fluid and graceful. "Nice try, Naruto. But you need to be faster," she encouraged, launching a counterattack with chakra-infused punches. Sasuke jumped into the fray, his Sharingan activated, and began to analyze Naruto's movements. "Focus, Naruto. You're too predictable," he called out, throwing a few shuriken to distract him. "Predictable? Huh? Watch this." Naruto grinned, using a shadow clone technique to create multiple copies of himself, all charging at Sasuke and Sakura. Solar flare. The clones unleashed bursts of light, temporarily blinding his teammates. Seizing the moment, Naruto dashed forward, aiming to land a hit. Sasuke swiftly regained his focus, using his Sharingan to pinpoint Naruto's location among the clones. "You won't catch me off guard." He activated his Chidori and charged toward the real Naruto, who was about to strike Sakura. "Solar shield," Naruto shouted, summoning a barrier of solar energy just in time to absorb the impact of Sasuke's attack. The force of the collision sent shockwaves rippling through the training ground. The three of them continued their sparring, pushing each other to their limits. As they trained, Naruto felt a rush of exhilaration. He was finally getting a grasp on the solar techniques that had once seemed so distant. Suddenly, they heard a commotion coming from the village. The sounds of shouting and chaos interrupted their training. "What was that?" Sakura asked, concern etched on her face. "I don't know, but it sounds serious," Naruto replied, his instincts kicking in. "Let's check it out." They dashed toward the source of the noise, adrenaline fueling their speed. As they entered the village, they saw a crowd gathered around a massive, ominous figure standing in the village square. "What's going on?" Sasuke demanded, pushing his way through the crowd. As they reached the front, they were met with a shocking sight. A rogue ninja clad in dark armor, towering over the villagers. A menacing grin plastered across his face. "Citizens of Konoha." The rogue bellowed, his voice dripping with arrogance. "I am Ryzen, and I am here to bring chaos to your precious village." Gasps filled the crowd, and Naruto felt his blood boil at the sight of the rogue. "I won't let you hurt anyone," he shouted, stepping forward, determination blazing in his eyes. "Look at the little brat," Ryzen sneered, eyes narrowing. "You think you can stop me? You're just a child playing ninja. Don't underestimate me," Naruto yelled, summoning the power of Escanor within him. "I'm stronger than you think." Sasuke and Sakura stepped up beside him, ready to fight. "We'll take you down together," Sasuke declared, his Sharingan blazing with intensity. Ryzen laughed, a deep, rumbling sound that sent chills through the gathered crowd. "Then come at me. I'll enjoy watching you fail." With a surge of energy, Naruto charged at Ryzen, his fists glowing with solar power. Solar barrage! He shouted, launching a series of radiant projectiles toward the rogue ninja. Ryzen easily dodged the attack, the projectiles exploding harmlessly behind him. Is that all you've got? He taunted, moving with surprising speed. Sakura and Sasuke followed Naruto's lead, launching their own attacks in a coordinated effort. Sasuke unleashed a torrent of lightning bolts while Sakura sent powerful punches infused with her chakra. But Ryzen dodged and countered with powerful strikes of his own, showcasing his formidable strength. You're weak, he spat, sending a shockwave of energy that knocked Sakura back. Damn it. Naruto gritted his teeth, frustration building within him. We have to hit him together. Right. Sasuke agreed, a glint of determination in his eyes. Let's combine our techniques. Solar flare. Naruto shouted, bathing the area in bright light to distract Ryzen. Chidori. Sasuke added, charging forward with his lightning-infused attack. Sakura, recovering from her previous hit, used her healing abilities to bolster her teammates. You can do this. Just believe in yourselves. With their combined efforts, they aimed for Ryzen, who finally began to realize he was outnumbered. This isn't over, he roared, retaliating with an enormous blast of dark chakra that sent the villagers scattering. Naruto's heart raced, and he felt the warmth of Escanor's power ignite within him. We can't let him escape, he shouted, determination burning in his eyes. Let's end this now, as they prepared for one final attack. The sun began to set, casting a fiery glow over the battlefield. Naruto felt a surge of power, the essence of the sun coursing through him, empowering him beyond his limits. Solar barrage. All out, he yelled, unleashing everything he had as he charged toward Ryzen. Let's finish this together. Sasuke shouted, focusing all his chakra into his Chidori as he followed Naruto. With Sakura providing support, they launched their final attack against Ryzen, determined to protect their village and prove their strength. As the energy from their combined attacks illuminated the night, the fate of Konoha hung in the balance, ready to be decided in this climactic battle. The energy from Naruto and Sasuke's combined attacks swirled around them, creating a brilliant display of light and power that cast long shadows over the village square. As the last rays of sunlight disappeared beyond the horizon, the atmosphere crackled with tension. Ryzen sneered at their display, seemingly unfazed. You think your little tricks can defeat me? He taunted, gathering dark chakra in his palm, preparing to unleash a devastating counterattack. Naruto felt the pulse of Escanor's power surge within him, urging him forward. We're not just tricks. We're shinobi of Konoha. We fight for our friends in our village. With a determined roar, he pushed past any remnants of doubt, fully embracing the solar energy coursing through him. Solar flare, he shouted, releasing a concentrated burst of light to blind Ryzen temporarily. In that instant of confusion, Naruto dashed forward with incredible speed, his fists glowing with solar energy. Sasuke seized the opportunity, his Sharingan trained on Ryzen. Now, Naruto, strike! As Naruto reached Ryzen, he swung a punch enhanced with all his might, connecting solidly with the rogue's jaw. The impact sent Ryzen staggering back, shock flickering across his face. Is that all you've got? Ryzen grunted, shaking off the blow. But the moment of hesitation revealed cracks in his confidence. Sasuke charged in, his Chidori crackling dangerously as he aimed for Ryzen's heart. This ends now, he yelled, thrusting forward with all his strength. Ryzen, realizing he was surrounded, tried to retaliate, summoning his dark chakra for a last-ditch attack. But Sakura wasn't about to let that happen. Get down, she yelled, charging forward and unleashing a series of precise punches that disrupted Ryzen's concentration, causing his chakra to falter. Now, Sakura, Naruto shouted, sensing the moment was ripe for a final blow. Let's end this together. With synchronized precision, Naruto and Sasuke launched themselves at Ryzen once more. Solar barrage, Naruto cried, while Sasuke followed up with a Chidori. Their attacks merged into a radiant surge of energy that barreled toward the rogue ninja. Ryzen's eyes widened in fear as he attempted to deflect their assault, but it was too late. The combined force of their attacks collided with him in an explosion of light and sound, illuminating the entire village square. The shockwave rippled outward, knocking several onlookers off their feet and sending debris flying. For a moment, it felt as though time had stopped, the world suspended in the brilliance of their power. When the light finally faded, Ryzen was on his knees, visibly weakened, gasping for breath. "How could you?" he stammered, disbelief etched across his features. Naruto stepped forward, his expression fierce yet resolute. "You underestimated us. You thought we were just kids. But we're shinobi. We protect our village. No matter what. Let's finish this," Sasuke added, stepping beside Naruto, his eyes unwavering. Sakura stood ready, her fists clenched, prepared to deliver the final blow if needed. "You've caused enough pain. It's time to face justice." Ryzen glared at them, his arrogance shattered. "This isn't the end. You may have defeated me, but there are others like me who won't stop until Konoha is in ruins." With a final surge of dark chakra, he attempted to flee, but Naruto would not allow it. "No, you're not getting away." He surged forward, tapping into Escanor's power, his fists glowing brightly. Solar Strike. The attack struck Ryzen hard, sending him crashing to the ground, unable to rise again. The rogue ninja's eyes widened in fear as the realization of defeat sank in. "I'll come back," he spat, the bravado fading from his voice. "You haven't seen the last of me." With that, Ryzen fell unconscious, defeated. The villagers who had witnessed the battle began to cheer, relief flooding through the crowd as they realized they were safe. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura stood over Ryzen, panting heavily but filled with a sense of triumph. "Did he really do it?" Sakura asked, disbelief tinged with joy. Naruto's face broke into a wide grin. "We did. We protected the village." Sasuke smirked, crossing his arms. "It wasn't just you. We all played a part." As they caught their breath, Tsunade arrived on the scene, her expression serious yet impressed. "I heard the commotion. It seems you three handled this well. We couldn't let him get away," Naruto explained, his voice filled with excitement. "He was a serious threat to Konoha." Tsunade surveyed Ryzen's unconscious form, then looked back at the trio. "Good work. But remember, this isn't over. We need to remain vigilant. If Ryzen was here, it's likely there are more rogues plotting against us." "Understood," Sasuke replied, his tone serious. "We'll continue training and be ready for whatever comes next." Tsunade nodded, her gaze shifting to the villagers who had gathered. "Let's ensure the safety of our people. We'll increase security measures around the village and keep a watchful eye for any signs of trouble." As the villagers celebrated their heroes, Naruto felt a swell of pride within him. He had faced a formidable enemy and come out victorious alongside his friends. But deep down, he knew this was only the beginning. The threat of the rogue ninjas still loomed, and they needed to prepare for whatever challenges lay ahead. As the sun set over Konoha, casting a golden hue over the village, Naruto looked up at the sky, determination igniting within him. He would protect his village and his friends with everything he had. No matter what, he would rise to the occasion. The days turned into weeks, and as Naruto trained with Sasuke and Sakura, he felt himself growing stronger. The bonds they shared became unbreakable, each mission reinforcing their commitment to one another. But the shadow of danger still lingered, and Naruto couldn't shake the feeling that their greatest challenge was yet to come. As the days passed, life in Konoha resumed its rhythm, but an undercurrent of tension lingered in the air. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura trained diligently, their camaraderie deepening with every shared experience. They were not just a team, they were a family, bound together by their shared goals and dreams. One evening, after a particularly grueling training session, the trio sat atop the Hokage monument, gazing out at the village illuminated by the setting sun. The vibrant colors painted the sky. But Naruto's mind was elsewhere. "Do you think Ryzen will come back?" Naruto asked, breaking the comfortable silence. Sasuke shrugged, his eyes narrowed in thought. "If he's as arrogant as he seemed, he'll definitely try again. We need to be ready for anything." Sakura nodded, her expression serious. "We should inform Tsunade about any suspicious activity we notice." We can't let our guard down. I'll train harder. I won't let anyone hurt our village again, Naruto declared, fists clenched in determination. I'll become even stronger. Just don't get reckless, Sasuke cautioned, glancing at his friend. Strength isn't everything. You need strategy too. Naruto grinned. I know. But it feels good to be strong. As they continued their discussion, a shadow fell over them. They turned to see Kakashi, their sensei, standing a few feet away, his trademark book in hand. Enjoying the view? Kakashi asked, his eye crinkling in a smile. Sensei. The trio exclaimed in unison. I heard about your battle with Ryzen, Kakashi said, leaning against the stone of the monument. Impressive work. Especially your teamwork. But I sense you're all worried about potential threats. We are, Sakura admitted. We need to prepare for whatever comes next. Kakashi nodded thoughtfully. I agree. In fact, I was planning to start some new training exercises with you. We'll focus on advanced tactics and teamwork to better prepare you for future encounters. Naruto's eyes sparkled with excitement. Sounds awesome. I'm ready. Sasuke smirked, crossing his arms. Just don't slow us down, Naruto. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Kakashi began outlining the new training regimen, emphasizing the importance of strategy, collaboration, and adaptability. The trio listened attentively, their eagerness to grow stronger evident. The next day, their training began in earnest. Kakashi introduced them to various exercises designed to enhance their teamwork and strategic thinking. They worked on perfecting their individual abilities while simultaneously learning how to complement each other's strengths. During one of their drills, Naruto focused on synchronizing his solar techniques with Sasuke's lightning attacks. Okay, let's try it together, Naruto shouted, channeling energy into his fists. Right, Sasuke replied, gathering chakra for his Chidori. As they executed their combo, a burst of energy erupted from their combined attacks, lighting up the training ground. That was awesome. Naruto cheered, exhilaration coursing through him. Not bad. But we need to refine our timing, Sasuke replied, a slight smile breaking through his usually stoic demeanor. Sakura, eager to contribute, suggested, what if I use my strength to create an opening? I can use my punches to create a distraction while you two prepare your attacks. Kakashi watched, impressed. That's the spirit. The more you work together, the more effective you'll become. Always think a few steps ahead. The trio continued to push themselves, practicing their strategies over and over. As the days turned into weeks, they grew stronger and more coordinated, each member bringing their unique abilities to the forefront. One afternoon, after an intense training session, Naruto suddenly sensed a shift in the atmosphere. Do you feel that? He asked, looking around. Sasuke's expression darkened. Something's off. Suddenly, the ground shook, and a loud roar echoed through the village. The trio exchanged alarmed glances. What was that? Sakura asked, her eyes wide. Let's check it out, Naruto shouted, racing toward the source of the sound, adrenaline surging through him. They dashed through the village, weaving past startled villagers, their hearts pounding in their chests. As they reached the edge of Konoha, they saw a massive cloud of dust rising in the distance, an ominous figure lurking within it. It's a giant beast, Sakura exclaimed, her voice trembling with fear. Naruto narrowed his eyes, focusing on the figure emerging from the dust. It was a massive creature, resembling a monstrous wolf with sharp claws and glowing red eyes. The beast let out another bone-chilling roar, sending shockwaves through the ground. We can't let it attack the village, Sasuke yelled, determination fueling his words. We need to engage it now. Naruto felt the heat of Escanor's power igniting within him. Right? Let's do this. He channeled solar energy, readying his attacks. As the creature charged toward them, the trio sprang into action. Naruto launched a solar barrage, bright projectiles flying toward the beast. Sasuke followed up with a Chidori, aiming for the creature's legs to bring it down. Sakura prepared herself, her chakras surging as she shouted, I'll support you both. Let's take this thing down together. But the beast was relentless. swatting away Naruto's projectiles and dodging Sasuke's attack with surprising agility. It lunged forward, its massive jaws snapping dangerously close to Naruto. "Watch out!" Sasuke yelled, grabbing Naruto and pulling him out of harm's way just in time. "Thanks, Sasuke," Naruto shouted, his heart racing. "But we need a better plan." The creature let out another roar, shaking the ground beneath them. The villagers were fleeing, and Naruto could sense their fear. He couldn't let them down. "Okay, here's what we'll do," Naruto said, his voice steady despite the chaos around them. "I'll distract it with my solar techniques while you two aim for a coordinated attack." Sasuke nodded, determination in his eyes. "Let's do this." With a newfound resolve, Naruto launched himself at the beast. "Solar flare," he shouted, enveloping the area in blinding light. The creature roared in confusion, momentarily disoriented. "Now," Sasuke called out, charging in with Sakura close behind. They executed their plan flawlessly. Sakura struck the creature's flank with a powerful punch, while Sasuke aimed for its vulnerable neck with a lightning-enhanced strike. The beast howled in pain, staggering back. Seeing an opening, Naruto summoned all his energy. "This ends now. Solar supernova," he shouted, unleashing a massive ball of solar energy that soared toward the creature. The explosion lit up the sky, a brilliant display of power and teamwork. As the dust settled, the beast lay motionless on the ground, defeated. Breathing heavily, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura stood together, their eyes fixed on the fallen creature. Cheers erupted from the villagers, relief washing over them as they witnessed the bravery of their shinobi. "You did it!" Sakura exclaimed, her face bright with joy. "We worked together," Sasuke replied, a satisfied smirk on his face. Naruto raised his fist in triumph, a wide grin stretching across his face. "We protected the village. We're getting stronger every day." As they basked in their victory, they knew that while the threats were growing, they would face them together. Their bond as teammates had never been stronger, and with the power of Escanor coursing through Naruto, they were ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. The aftermath of the battle against the monstrous wolf-like creature left Konoha buzzing with excitement and relief. Villagers gathered around, clapping and cheering for their heroes, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. Word of their teamwork and bravery spread like wildfire, reinforcing their status as protectors of the village. As the cheers echoed through the streets, Tsunade made her way through the crowd, her expression a mix of pride and concern. She approached the trio, a smile forming as she took in the sight of them. "Great job out there, you three," Tsunade said, crossing her arms. "You managed to protect the village again. But we need to talk about the beast." Naruto's smile faded slightly. "You think it was just a random creature? It seemed pretty strong." Tsunade nodded, her brows furrowed. "Exactly. There are reports of other beasts appearing in the surrounding areas, each more powerful than the last. We can't dismiss this as mere coincidence. What do you think is causing it?" Sasuke asked, his voice steady as he glanced at his friends. "We need to investigate," Tsunade replied. "I want you three to join a team tasked with finding out what's behind these creatures. There may be a force manipulating them, and we can't let that threat reach Konoha." "Understood," Naruto said, his determination reigniting. "We'll find out what's going on." Tsunade looked at them, her expression turning serious. "Be careful. You're strong, but these creatures are unpredictable. I want you to work with another team, led by Shikamaru. His strategic mind will be a valuable asset." "Got it," Sakura said, her resolve firm. "We'll make sure to keep everyone safe." As the villagers began to disperse, the trio turned their attention to gathering their gear and preparing for the mission ahead. They met Shikamaru and his team at the training grounds, where they exchanged information about the recent attacks. "We've had reports of sightings in the nearby forests," Shikamaru explained, running a hand through his hair. "We'll split into two groups. One will scout the area for clues while the other stands ready for battle." "Sounds good," Naruto said, his excitement bubbling beneath the surface. "I can't wait to get started." Shikamaru raised an eyebrow, a smirk tugging at the corners of his mouth. Just don't make it too complicated, Naruto. We need to stick to the plan. After finalizing their strategy, the teams set off toward the forest, their senses heightened, ready for anything. The atmosphere was tense, and Naruto could feel the weight of the mission bearing down on them. He channeled Escanor's power, letting the warmth envelop him like a comforting cloak. As they entered the forest, the trees loomed overhead, casting long shadows that danced in the fading light. The deeper they went, the more they felt a strange energy in the air, a palpable sense of unease. Stay alert, Shikamaru instructed. We don't know what we're dealing with yet. After several minutes of tense silence, they stumbled upon a clearing. In the center lay remnants of what appeared to be an abandoned campsite. Charred wood and torn fabric littered the ground, hinting at a struggle. This place was attacked, Sakura observed, kneeling down to examine the area. Look at the claw marks on the trees. They're similar to what we saw with the creature. Whatever did this is powerful, Sasuke said, his eyes scanning the surroundings. We need to find out where it went. Suddenly, a rustling sound drew their attention. The group fell silent, tension thick in the air. Everyone, be ready, Shikamaru whispered, his strategic instincts kicking in. The rustling grew louder, and from the underbrush emerged a creature. But it was not like the one they had fought before. This one was smaller, resembling a wolf with scales and glowing blue eyes that seemed to pierce through the shadows. Another beast, Naruto shouted, stepping forward. Let's take it down before it attacks. Wait. Shikamaru held up a hand. Let's see if we can communicate with it first. It might not be hostile. With cautious steps, Naruto approached the creature, focusing on calming his own energy. Hey there, little guy, he said gently, kneeling down. We don't want to hurt you. The creature growled lowly, but its stance relaxed slightly. It seemed to sense Naruto's warm energy, its glowing eyes narrowing curiously. Maybe it recognizes your strength, Sasuke suggested, his tone cautious. Just be careful. Naruto extended a hand, palm open, showing he meant no harm. I'm Naruto. We're here to help. Can you tell us what happened here? To their surprise, the creature tilted its head, as if considering his words. Slowly, it stepped closer, sniffing at Naruto's hand. In that moment, something incredible happened. The creature's eyes began to glow brighter, and a faint pulse of energy radiated from it. What's happening? Sakura whispered, her eyes wide. I think it's trying to communicate, Naruto said, feeling a connection building between him and the creature. It's showing me something, in his mind. Images flashed before him. Dark figures lurking in the shadows, summoning the beasts and controlling them. He saw a cloaked figure, surrounded by swirling darkness, manipulating the creatures with ease. Who are they? Naruto asked, his heart racing. What do they want? The creature emitted a low whine, nudging his hand as if urging him to understand. Naruto felt a surge of emotion, fear, sadness, and a desperate plea for help. I get it, he said, looking back at his teammates. These beasts are being controlled by someone. They're not attacking because they want to. They're being forced to. Shikamaru's eyes widened. If that's the case, we need to find the source of this control and put a stop to it before more creatures are unleashed. Right. Sakura agreed, her determination shining through. We can't let them harm anyone else. With newfound purpose, Naruto stood tall, channeling Escanor's power once more. Let's go find this cloaked figure. We'll save those creatures and protect the village. The creature, seemingly understanding their resolve, barked softly, and to their surprise, it turned and began to lead them deeper into the forest. Follow it, Shikamaru commanded, motioning for everyone to stay close. As they ran, adrenaline coursing through their veins, Naruto felt an unshakable bond forming with the creature beside him. It wasn't just a beast. It was a victim, much like they were. The forest grew darker, the trees closing in around them as they pursued their newfound ally. With every step, the sense of urgency heightened, and they prepared themselves for the confrontation that lay ahead. But in the depths of the woods, a sinister presence lurked, watching their every move with cold, calculating eyes. The deeper Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and their new ally ventured into the forest. The atmosphere thickened with an ominous presence. The trees loomed overhead, and the underbrush rustled with the sounds of unseen creatures. The glowing creature led the way, its eyes flickering with determination as it guided them through the twisting paths. "Do you think we're getting close?" Sakura asked, glancing back at the glowing creature, which seemed to have a strong sense of direction. "I can feel it," Naruto replied, a surge of energy coursing through him. "We're on the right track. I know we can do this." Sasuke remained focused, his senses heightened as he scanned their surroundings. "Stay alert. We don't know what kind of traps or enemies we might encounter." As they pushed forward, the air grew colder, and the sounds of the forest seemed to fade, replaced by an eerie silence. The glowing creature paused suddenly, its body tense as it lowered to the ground, ears perked up as if sensing something nearby. "What is it?" Sakura whispered, her heart pounding. Before anyone could respond, a series of low growls erupted from the shadows. Dark shapes began to emerge from the underbrush, more beasts, similar to the one they had encountered earlier, but with even more menacing forms. Their eyes glowed with a fierce intensity, and their growls echoed like thunder. "We need to fight," Naruto shouted, his fists igniting with solar energy. "Let's show them what we can do." "Don't rush in, Naruto," Sasuke cautioned, positioning himself beside Sakura. "We need to stick together and not let them surround us." The beasts lunged forward, and with a surge of adrenaline, Naruto launched himself into the fray. "Solar flare!" he cried, unleashing a burst of light that temporarily blinded the closest creature. Sasuke took advantage of the chaos, using his Chidori to strike from the side, targeting the second beast that was coming straight for them. "Now, Sakura!" he shouted, signaling her to follow up. Sakura nodded, her resolve firm. "I won't let you down." She charged forward, landing a powerful punch on one of the beasts, sending it sprawling back with a yelp. But just as they began to gain the upper hand, more creatures emerged from the shadows, surrounding them on all sides. The glowing creature let out a desperate bark, urging Naruto and the others to remain united. "Stick together." Shikamaru's voice echoed through the fray as he coordinated with his own team. "We'll handle this. Use your strengths to protect each other." "Right," Naruto shouted, feeling the warmth of Escanor's power surging within him. "I won't back down." As the battle raged on, Naruto tapped into the full extent of his abilities. He combined his solar techniques with Sasuke's lightning and Sakura's incredible strength, creating a whirlwind of attacks that pushed back the beasts. "Solar barrage!" Naruto shouted, sending a volley of radiant projectiles flying toward the encroaching creatures. The light exploded upon impact, illuminating the forest and causing the beasts to howl in pain. "Chidori!" Sasuke followed up with a concentrated lightning strike, targeting the creatures that dared to draw close. Sakura, fighting alongside them, unleashed a flurry of punches, her fists glowing with chakra. "We won't let you hurt anyone," she yelled, her voice fierce and determined. As they fought back, Naruto's connection with the glowing creature intensified. He could sense its fear transforming into hope, and that only fueled his determination further. "We're doing this together," he called out to the creature. "You're not alone anymore." In a surprising move, the glowing creature charged into the fray alongside Naruto, its body radiating a soft light that seemed to invigorate them all. It leapt and dodged, nipping at the beasts while also creating openings for Naruto and his friends to strike. The tide of battle shifted, and one by one, the beasts began to retreat, sensing the overwhelming strength of the united team. As the last creature fell, the clearing fell silent, the only sounds being the heavy breathing of the exhausted shinobi and the gentle panting of the glowing creature. "We did it!" Sakura exclaimed, a smile breaking across her face. "We actually won." Naruto turned to the glowing creature, grinning. "You were amazing. We couldn't have done it without you." The creature nuzzled against him, its eyes brightening in gratitude. In that moment, Naruto felt a profound connection, a bond forged through battle, trust, and understanding. But their victory was short-lived. From the shadows, a low, mocking laughter echoed through the clearing. The group turned, eyes narrowing as a cloaked figure stepped into view, shrouded in darkness. Well, 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 the figure sneered, their voice dripping with malice. A bunch of little shinobi think they can stand in my way? You've done well to defeat my pets. But you are merely delaying the inevitable. Who are you? Sasuke demanded, his voice steady despite the rising tension. The figure chuckled darkly. I am the master of these creatures. They obey my will. And soon, I will unleash their full power upon your village. You'll regret meddling in my affairs. Naruto stepped forward, fists clenched. We won't let you hurt anyone. We'll stop you. No matter what. Such bravado. The figure replied, their tone condescending. But you're too late. The true power of my beasts is beyond anything you can comprehend. Prepare to witness it. With a wave of their hand, the figure summoned dark energy, which began to swirl around them, forming a sinister cloud. The air grew heavy, and Naruto felt an instinctual fear begin to creep in. Stay together. Shikamaru shouted, trying to maintain their formation. We have to be ready for anything. The creature beside Naruto growled, its body shimmering with light as it prepared to protect its newfound friends. The bonds they had formed were stronger than any fear, and together they stood tall against the encroaching darkness. Let's show them what we're made of. Naruto shouted, rallying his teammates. We fight for our village. We fight for our friends. As the dark energy began to condense, forming monstrous silhouettes within it, the trio exchanged determined glances, ready to face whatever challenge awaited them. The battle against the cloaked figure was about to begin, and they were prepared to give everything they had to protect Konoha and the bonds they had forged. The dark energy swirling around the cloaked figure intensified, creating a vortex of shadows that seemed to pulse with a life of its own. Shapes began to take form within the mass, grotesque silhouettes that looked almost familiar but were twisted into nightmarish versions of the beasts they had just fought. Naruto felt a chill run down his spine, but he quickly shook it off. We can't let fear take over. We have to stand strong. Agreed, Sasuke said, his eyes sharp with focus. We can't let them overwhelm us. We need to strike first. The cloaked figure chuckled, their voice echoing eerily around the clearing. Foolish children. You think you can defeat me? You've only seen a fraction of what I can do. Behold my true power. With a dramatic flourish, the figure extended their arms, and the shadowy mass erupted into chaos. Dark beasts poured forth, snarling and clawing at the air as they materialized. Each one was a monstrous reflection of the creatures they had just battled, but far larger and more ferocious. Stay in formation. Shikamaru shouted, quickly assessing the situation. We need to hold them off and find a way to neutralize the figure. Naruto felt Escanor's power surge within him, an overwhelming warmth that filled him with confidence. I'll take the lead. Let's show them what we've got. With a fierce battle cry, Naruto charged forward, his fists glowing with solar energy. Solar flare, he shouted, unleashing a burst of light that lit up the darkened clearing. The first beast charged at him, its maw open wide, but Naruto sidestepped effortlessly and struck it down with a powerful punch, sending it crashing to the ground. Sasuke followed closely behind, weaving through the chaos with grace. Chidori, he shouted as he unleashed a bolt of lightning at another beast, the shockwave knocking it off balance. Keep your distance. Sakura, I'm right behind you. Sakura yelled, using her impressive strength to take down a beast that attempted to flank Sasuke. With each strike, she felt the adrenaline of the fight course through her veins, focusing her chakra to maximize her attacks. But the cloaked figure was not idle. Pathetic insects, they snarled, their voice laced with malice. You think you can resist me? I will show you the true power of darkness. The shadows around the figure began to writhe and twist, morphing into a monstrous entity that towered over the clearing. The ground shook as it roared, its eyes glowing with a malevolent light. Everyone, watch out! Shikamaru yelled, his mind racing to form a strategy. We need to regroup. We can't let it isolate us. With an instinctive understanding of their urgency, Naruto and his friends fell back, forming a tight circle as the monstrous creature advanced. They stood shoulder to shoulder, their powers combining to create a formidable wall of strength. Let's do this together. Naruto shouted, feeling the warmth of Escanor's power fueling his resolve. On 3. 1. 2. 3. Solar barrage. Naruto cried, launching a series of radiant energy projectiles at the creature. The light illuminated the clearing, momentarily blinding the beast. Chidori. Sasuke shouted, his hands crackling with electricity as he unleashed a powerful strike, aiming for the creature's vulnerable spots. Inner Sakura. Sakura roared, channeling her inner strength to deliver a massive punch, her fist connecting with the beast and sending shockwaves through the air. But the creature seemed unfazed. With a low growl, it swung its massive paw, sending the trio tumbling to the ground. Get up. Shikamaru shouted, urgency in his voice. Don't let it get to you. Struggling to their feet, the trio fought against the fatigue and shock. We have to finish this. Naruto yelled, determination igniting in his eyes. We can't let it win. Suddenly, the glowing creature that had been by their side leapt forward, charging into the fray with renewed vigor. It emitted a brilliant light that pushed back the shadows, illuminating the clearing with warmth and hope. Let's channel our strength through it, Sasuke suggested, seeing the creature as a beacon of light against the darkness. If we combine our powers with its, we might be able to break through. Great idea, Sakura exclaimed. Let's do it. They focused on the glowing creature, channeling their chakra and energy toward it. Naruto, fueled by Escanor's power, felt the warmth emanating from his very core. We're in this together, he shouted, raising his fist to the sky. For Konoha. For our friends. As their energies converged, the glowing creature transformed, its light intensifying and enveloping them in a radiant aura. The darkness surrounding the monstrous entity faltered, the shadows recoiling as if afraid of the light. No. The cloaked figure screeched, their eyes wide with fear. You can't do this. You're just children. With one final push, Naruto and his friends unleashed their combined power. A wave of radiant energy that surged toward the creature. Light of hope. They shouted in unison, and the brilliance engulfed the monstrous figure. The dark creature let out a terrifying roar, thrashing in desperation as the light broke through the shadows, illuminating every corner of the forest. The blast erupted like a supernova, and for a moment, time stood still. When the light finally faded, the clearing fell silent. The dark energy dissipated, leaving only a faint shimmer in the air. As they caught their breath, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Shikamaru glanced around, their eyes wide with disbelief. The cloaked figure was gone, vanished along with their dark minions, leaving nothing but the peaceful sounds of the forest in their wake. We did it, Naruto breathed, disbelief flooding his voice. Sasuke nodded, still trying to process what had just happened. We won. Together. Sakura beamed, her heart swelling with pride. And we couldn't have done it without our new friend. The glowing creature approached them, its eyes bright with gratitude. It nuzzled against Naruto, who laughed with joy. You're amazing. We'll protect you from anyone who tries to harm you. Shikamaru surveyed the clearing, relief washing over him. Let's head back to the village. We need to report what happened and ensure that Konoha is safe from further threats. As they made their way back through the forest, the bonds between them grew stronger, each step reinforcing their determination to protect each other and their home. The adventure had only just begun, and together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead. The sun began to set on the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, and as they walked side by side, Naruto felt a newfound sense of purpose. With Escanor's power coursing through him and the unwavering support of his friends, he was ready to face anything that came his way. And as for the cloaked figure, Naruto knew one thing for certain. They would not be forgotten. He would uncover the truth behind their dark plans and ensure that Konoha would remain safe from their grasp. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over Konoha, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Shikamaru made their way back to the village. The streets, once filled with tension, now thrummed with the energy of a bustling evening. People were going about their daily routines, blissfully unaware of the dark forces they had narrowly escaped. Let's report to the Hokage, Naruto suggested, his voice filled with determination. "We need to let her know what happened and prepare for any future threats." Sasuke nodded in agreement. "We should also make sure that the glowing creature is safe. It deserves protection after everything it's been through." As they approached the Hokage's office, Naruto felt a sense of urgency build within him. The glowing creature walked beside him, its soft light illuminating the way. It seemed to sense Naruto's excitement and mirrored it, bouncing lightly as they went. Inside the office, Tsunade was reviewing paperwork when the group burst in. "Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Shikamaru," she exclaimed, her eyes widening. "What happened? You look like you've been through a battle." "We did, Lady Tsunade," Naruto replied, his words tumbling out in a rush. "There was this cloaked figure controlling dark beasts in the forest. But we managed to defeat them with the help of this creature." Tsunade raised an eyebrow. Intrigued. "This creature?" As Naruto explained the events leading up to their battle, the glowing creature stepped forward, its light flickering gently. "It helped us, Lady Tsunade. We need to make sure it's safe," Sakura added, her voice filled with concern. Tsunade leaned forward, her gaze assessing. "We'll make sure it has a safe place in the village. But tell me more about this cloaked figure. What do you know about their intentions?" "They were trying to unleash the full power of the dark beasts," Sasuke replied, crossing his arms. "They claimed we were too late and that the village was in danger." Tsunade's expression darkened, and she leaned back in her chair, deep in thought. "If they possess that kind of power, we need to take this seriously. I'll convene a meeting with the other Kage to discuss the situation." As she spoke, Naruto felt a swell of determination. "We can help. We should be the ones to investigate. If they're planning something, we need to stop them." Tsunade regarded Naruto, seeing the fierce determination in his eyes. "I appreciate your enthusiasm, but this is a serious matter. You and your friends need to be prepared. I'll assign a higher-ranked team to assist you." Sakura frowned, crossing her arms. "But we can handle it. We just fought those beasts and defeated the cloaked figure. And we'll be ready for whatever comes next," Naruto added, clenching his fists. "We're stronger together." After a moment of consideration, Tsunade sighed. "All right. I'll allow you to investigate. But you must keep in close contact and report any findings immediately. I won't risk your safety without proper backup." "Deal," Naruto said, pumping his fist in the air. "We won't let you down." As they left the Hokage's office, the group buzzed with excitement and anticipation. "We're going to be on a mission," Sakura said, her eyes sparkling. "I can't wait to see what we'll uncover." "Let's get some rest first," Shikamaru suggested, his brow furrowing. "We need to be at our best. Right? Tomorrow, we'll gather more intel and find out what this cloaked figure is planning," Sasuke replied, determination flashing in his eyes. That night, as Naruto lay in bed, he thought about the glowing creature, now resting in a safe area near the village. He felt a deep connection to it, knowing that it had been through so much and deserved protection. With the warmth of Escanor's power still coursing through him, he couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. The next morning, they gathered at their usual meeting spot, a small clearing near the training grounds. The glowing creature appeared excited, bouncing around them as if eager for their next adventure. "We need to gather information on that cloaked figure," Naruto began, glancing around at his friends. "Maybe we can find clues about where they came from or why they want to attack Konoha." "Let's check with the villagers first," Shikamaru suggested. "There might have been sightings or strange occurrences lately that we haven't heard about." As they split up to gather information, Naruto found himself drawn to the ramen shop, his favorite place in the village. He knew that the owner, Tucci, always had his ear to the ground and would likely know about any recent gossip. Entering the shop, the familiar aroma of steaming ramen filled the air, instantly making him feel at home. "Hey, Tucci, I need your help," Naruto called out, his voice cheerful. Tucci turned, a smile spreading across his face. "Naruto, it's good to see you. What's going on? Have you heard anything strange happening around the village? We need to know if anyone's seen anything out of the ordinary lately?" Naruto asked, leaning on the counter. Tucci scratched his head, considering. "Now that you mention it, There have been whispers about some unusual sightings in the forest. People have mentioned seeing shadows moving at night. Almost like there's something lurking out there. Naruto's heart raced. Do you think it could be connected to the cloaked figure? Could be. Tucci replied, nodding. But it's just rumors for now. You might want to check in with the guards. They might have more concrete information. Thanks. Tucci. I'll do that. Naruto said, racing out of the shop. He met up with Sasuke, Sakura, and Shikamaru, who had gathered at the entrance of the village. Anything useful? Sasuke asked, raising an eyebrow. Tucci mentioned some strange shadows in the forest. Naruto replied, his excitement bubbling over. We should check with the guards. Good idea. Sakura said, determination shining in her eyes. Let's see what they know. As they approached the guard station, they spotted a couple of familiar faces. Hey, you two. Naruto called out to the guards. We need information about any strange occurrences in the forest. The guards exchanged glances before one spoke up. We've seen some unusual things lately, dark figures moving in and out of the trees at night. It's been unnerving, to say the least. Have you seen any cloaked figures? Sasuke pressed, his expression serious. Not directly, but we've had reports from travelers passing through. They've said they felt like they were being watched. The guard replied, his brow furrowing. It's concerning. Naruto felt a rush of determination. We need to investigate further. If there's a threat out there, we can't let it fester. The group exchanged determined glances. The gravity of the situation sinking in. Let's head back to the forest tonight, Shikamaru suggested. If we can gather more intel on the shadows, we might be able to catch the cloaked figure off guard. As the sun set, the friends prepared for their night mission. Adrenaline and excitement coursing through their veins. The glowing creature joined them, its light brightening the path as they made their way back to the forest, ready to uncover the secrets that lay hidden within the shadows.